want to cut off my legs. I want a steak bake, for heaven's sake. Okay. Hi. This is the new intro songs, by the way, in case you haven't gathered. This is now officially part of the intro song canon. I hope you're all okay with this. I hope you're all okay with this. Okay, hello everybody. Welcome. Hello, welcome in. Let me see who is here. If you haven't done the lab safety register check-in, maybe you should. Let me see who is here. Hello Maximilian, hello Potter, hello Flatulence Incarnate, hello Awkward Flea Bro, hello Pokemod, hello M0, hello Cogsright, hello Red Fox, hello Bobo, hello. I definitely didn't play this because Bobo specifically said about being conditioned for the song. I definitely didn't do that. Hello Cleeper, hello Gideoneer, hello Jeb Kerman, hello Fortress Spy, hello Umidin. Hello, Speaky One. Hello, Grebus Glorious Gravelings. Hello. Wait, there's more. Una Minami. There we go. Got there eventually. Hello. Hi. Savitar, did I say hello to you? I don't know. Hello again, possibly. Hello, Yoavco. Hello, Crystallic. Hello, Gora Inge. Hello, Raxing. Hi. Hello, Hapo. Hello, Phantom. Hello, Grim Grilson. Hi, everybody. How are we all doing today? Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? If we're not okay with it, we will be eventually. Nice that you included the UK national anthem. Yes, we start every stream with the UK national anthem. This is true. The queue at Greg's. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing? Sorry that so we're doing a different stream than anticipated. I said on the schedule, and also I said in the stream last week that we'd be continuing to look over the neuro paper. I don't think I can do it today. I'm gonna be so real. Like, I've had a bad morning. So I don't think I can give it the like attention that it needs, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think I'll be able to process things very well. So we're gonna do it next week instead, I think. I hope that is okay. What we're gonna be doing instead today is a Q&A. But first of all, tell me how you're doing. How is everybody? How are you doing? I'm doing. I'll leave it at that. Thank you for the 25 stream streaks, Gora, Inge, and Savitar. What the heck? That's so many streams. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. And hello, Torgamus. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Yippee. Yippee. I'm trying to throw together my schedule for next week. That's a mood. I plan things comedically far in advance, actually. I say that. Wait, let me find I have a documentation. Okay. Documentation. Oh, I can't. It's not bookmarked. Okay. That's awkward. I have a documentation doc, a Google Docie, one could say, except instead of, shading someone, it's providing all of the information about all of my streams for the whole year. Because I'm extra. So I have everything planned out all the way through until end of March. So make of that what you will. Yeah. Make of that what you will. Yes. I prepared somewhat. I say that I'm not prepared. I'm meant to be doing a collab next week, and I've just realized I've seen it on the list and I haven't managed to message them about it yet. I should do that. I should message them. That's the thing I should do. Okay. This is useful. I'm glad that I opened this document. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have one stream that's planned in August. It's true. I do have an August planned stream. I also have, if you're thinking about like events, if events far in advance count, not an event, I do have a stream, like a collab planned in August. And then events, I have like October I'm starting to plan, and December I'm starting to plan. So technically I'm planned all the way through, Technically. If we're talking about what counts on paper, as in like, is it in my calendar? I'm planned all the way through to December to some extent or another. And like, I know what I'm doing on what days vaguely. I have like a theme per day now. Obviously I have like psychology Sunday, miscellaneous Monday, chatting Tuesday. So like that kind of dictates to some extent what I'm doing anyway. But I'm starting to work out like a pattern, you know, where it like, you know, oh, on this Tuesday, on the first Tuesday of the month, I do this kind of stream type of situation. So I'm organized. I'm organized. I definitely sound like I know what I'm doing. I sound like I know what I'm doing. Hello, Night Ghost Kevin and Flockia. Thank you both for the lab safety register check-ins. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. The documentation document.doc. Exactly. That's exactly what I have. My job wants me to schedule all my appointments 2 months at once. I laugh at them and dare them to fire me. I've reached plan R for a weekly schedule before. That's cursed. I hate that so much. J Lo, hi. Thank you so much for the 5 months. What the heck? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Like, let me do this. Is this a bit better? Do I look a bit less cursed now, actually? Hang on, wait. Wait. Perhaps this is slightly better? Perhaps I now look slightly less cursed. Perhaps. Who knows? Sounding like knowing what you're doing is half the battle. This is extremely true. True. Okay. The British is coming through a bit too much today, apparently. I'm trying to fix this so that I don't look cursed. Okay, there we go. Slightly better now, I think. Slightly better. Okay. Right. Wait, why is that happening still? Wait. There we go. Okay, I think we're good now. We got there eventually. Okay. Oh my goodness. What am I doing? Hi, Joe Victor. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Hi, I was in the land of cheese. I need to be seen. You were in the land of cheese. What does this mean? Explain. Oh, I'm so confused. I need information about what this means. What? What? Land of cheese, huh? I'm confused. I worked out there was a period where if I did a monthly schedule, I'd be halfway through the Greek alphabet for plans after going through the full Latin alphabet. Hi, Pseudolab. Hello. How are you doing? Oh, I was getting myself a succulent cottage cheese. What? I have not had cottage cheese in a very long time. For obvious reasons. It's basically just like solid, you know, cow protein. Not great for me personally. However, the only thing that I know now consistently about cottage cheese is what I see on the plant slant, which is largely people putting cottage cheese in things that shouldn't have cottage cheese. So, yeah. I'm not sure if I like this development. Hi, Woodsticks. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. And hello, Tingman. Hello. How are you doing? And Chaka, hello. How are you doing? I am doing. I've had a bit of a bad morning. I was meant to start the stream an hour and a half ago, and I did not because I was sad. I had to go for a mental health walk, TM. It's fine, though. It's fine. I've got tea. I'm functional. It's fine. Yes. Thank you for the head pats. Hi, Wolf. Hello. And hello, Never Gonna Find Me. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Cottage cheese in places where it shouldn't be. Did they use it as a mortar for a cottage? I wish I could even begin to list the things that they put cottage cheese in. It's I don't know. Some of them, it's like cottage cheese and cookies type of situation. It's really cursed and I hate it. I hate it so much. Why are you putting cottage cheese in these things? I do not like it. Terrible. Size functional TM. Exactly. I am vaguely somewhat functional, perhaps, maybe. Questionable, but, you know, maybe. Okay, I feel like I made a spreadsheet, first of all. So, right. First thing we're doing submit a question. Because we're doing a Q&A today. Sorry again about not doing the neuro paper. Like I said, brain not processing enough today to do the neuro paper. It's not happening. I can't do it. My brain is not good enough today. But instead we'll do Q&A. I think somewhere I have a spreadsheet for this now. Where is my connected spreadsheet? Let's see. Spreadsheet. Viewing sheets. There we go. Is this the right... Was this the right form? Yeah, that was the right form. Okay, good. Okay. Yes, I now have a spreadsheet of questions. Excellent. Okay. Okay. We're ready. We're ready. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Okay, we got this. We got this. I'm prepared. I know what I'm doing somewhat to some extent. Okay, cool. Cool. If I keep saying I know what I'm doing, then I might convince some of you. Okay. Hello, Anna, Just Jane, and Aux. Hello. Welcome in. Thank you for the lab safety register check-ins. I hope you're all doing good. I hope you're all good. And nuclear saltwater as well. Hello. I had Laxer today and they put pineapple in it. Now I know how the pizza pineapple haters feel. That I don't know how to feel about that. Oh, that's vaguely upsetting, actually. Oh. I can't even imagine. Actually, maybe it'd work. Maybe. Now I'm kind of interested and low-key kind of want to try it. How bad could it be? I don't know. Hi Lane, welcome in. Hello. Cottage cheese can be cooked with adding acid to hot milk. Ricotta is made from even hotter whey mixed with acid. Ergo, I can add acid to whole milk, make a ricotta cheese, cottage cheese mix, and create Psydere safe milk vinegar drink. No. This is not true. Everything we do here is a psyop, a Psydere operation. Exactly. We're here to do the psyop. This is exactly what we're here for. And today's psyop is that we're going to be going through the questions that are submitted by all of you. Yes, this is the plan. Let's see. Do I have to like manually update this also? Or does it just update? Do I have to like refresh it? How does it work? How do the live spreadsheet updates work actually? Now I want to know. I'm not sure. The last question was submitted on the 18th as far as I can see. So that's good. I'm not expecting another one already. Anyway, there's some good questions here. Okay. Hello, Adam McRae. Welcome. And hello, hi, Dotto. Hello. Welcome in. When you run it through a cheesecloth, that's how you get paneer for your palak paneer. Thank you for the input. However, I have a dairy allergy. Why are you all trying to kill me? What's going on today? What's going on? What's going on? The last question, someone submitted an Isaac Asimov novel. Okay, I've been thinking, so basically like a little while back, Bobo sent me a video about an Asimov short story, and I've like it's been like itching my brain ever since. And I'm very strongly considering just like buying an anthology of the short stories written by Asimov, because I don't really read. I was debating whether to add like sci-fi on the end, but no, I think the sentence can end there. I don't really read. So I have never read anything by Asimov, and I feel like it would be fun to yeah, go through the anthology of short stories. I think it would be fun. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I have tea, by the way. I have today I've got Earl Grey, if anyone was interested. Very exciting. Yeah. It's a mind trip. Yeah. I can't remember, but I don't think it was that one. No, it was Nightfall, I think. Was it Nightfall? Was it called Nightfall? It was the one where yeah, it was Nightfall. That was the one. And the concept of it made me think a lot, and now I want to read it. Yeah. I want to read it because I don't really read very much, full stop, but also especially like sci-fi, it's something I've always wanted to get into, but I don't know how to get into it, which is really, really ironic as somebody who like makes zines as a main hobby, is that like I make zines as a main hobby, but I've never read sci-fi because I don't know where to start, even though it literally started off as zines. Like, make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm silly, but that's how my brain works, apparently. So I should get into it. I want to read more in general. I have like a library book that I'm reading through at the minute, but it's like a non-fiction one. It's like a anthropology one. I keep thinking maybe it would be fun for me to like, when I actually finish a book, to do like a little book club question mark type of thing where I kind of tell you the main takeaways that I got from it. But I won't do that for like fiction because then it's a spoiler. But I think it's like fair enough for non-fiction because like half the time we don't read those things very much, you know. Like everyone's always like, you should read these non-fiction books, and I'm like, okay, and then I don't, and then I read a summary of someone else's takeaways instead because like very few I feel like I personally benefited significantly from reading this. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Katoshi Erika, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome into the research participation pool. Welcome. He has a novel called Nightfall and a short story version. Not sure what it's called. Oh, okay. I see. He's pretty much the most prolific author ever. No one knows how much he wrote because of the fact that a lot of the older sci-fi story authors used more synonyms to make it seem like there was more authors. Even he couldn't remember which ones were his. That's so funny. I can recommend Ray Bradbury's Martian Chronicles. Okay. I'll see if they've got it in my library. Exciting. You write sci-fi dudes. I'd recommend starting with iRobot. Yeah, I should start with that. I know that I should read that. It's like a classic. Yeah. Sci-fi streams, you know what we call it? Sci-fi, make it a collab. Oh, wait, that's fire. That's actually so good I could ask. I don't know if Fi is into sci-fi, but I love this as a concept. This is excellent. This is excellent. Wait, I'm gonna message right now. Wait. Where is he? Wait. Okay, I'm gonna say, okay, Kleeper just suggested doing a collab series where we talk about sci-fi and we call it sci-fi. I also said chat says hi. This is the peak quality content that you all come here for. Me aggressively Discord messaging my friends. There we go. That's written down now. So, yeah. That might be a concept that's stolen. Don't attach my name to it too late. It's a good idea. Like, you're really good at, like, puns and stuff. It's genuinely a good idea, so take some pride in what you do. Thank you so much for the 500 bits, Pseudo Lab. What the heck? Thank you. Yeah, peak content, exactly. Did Sean say peak content? I can't hear him. Sean! Is he speaking again? At least he's on time today, I guess. Like, the alerts are actually happening on time. He did, okay. I just can't hear him. My volume settings are kind of wacky. He's kind of soft. Okay, let me turn him up a bit. There we go. There we go, Sean. Now people will hear you. Yippee. Yes. Most of Asimov's longer works I find really boring and hard to read, and I've read a lot of sci-fi. I sometimes like long and boring and hard to read though, you know? Like sometimes I enjoy it. Sometimes it's kind of fun. In the sense of like, I don't know, I like hyperfixate on things. I like hyperfixate on stories. So like, basically the two options are either the book like clicks with me and I read the whole thing very rapidly. Even if it's like a really long and drawn out one, I read the whole thing very rapidly, often in like 2-3 settings. Or I like just I like go through it like, I don't know, literally like 4 pages at a time over the space of multiple weeks because I want to read it, but I can't. It just doesn't click with me. I don't know. That's what's happening with the book I'm reading at the minute. Like I said, it is a non-fiction book, so it tends to happen a little bit more with non-fiction than fiction. Normally with fiction books, I'm just like locked in. I just read the whole thing in one go. Or the other thing that happens is that I read half of it and then I have to put it down and then I forget to finish it. That's the other thing. That's happened with like the majority of books that I have ever read. I swear I don't have a problem finishing things. I swear. I like long, complex, and boring. All right, you're about to get bombarded with a bunch of dry stuff. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. For me, reading fiction often means reading dystopias. I love dystopian fiction. This is, okay, my favorite like genres of thing in general. Okay, I feel like this is very weird because like, I would say, I hope you all agree with me. I would say that in general, I'm like a relatively like happy person, a relatively positive person. But I love like dystopian things and I love like psychological horror / thriller. Like those are my favorite things. Anything where people are like suffering. I enjoy those kinds of stories. Why? I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it when people suffer, but it's like fiction, so it's fine. But I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's like an outlet for me in a way. I don't know. But I enjoy them a lot. Yeah. I've been thinking more about how I felt about Iron Lung, and the more that I think about it, the more that I think I actually really liked it. So like it's been one of those things where I'm like thinking about the story and trying to make sense of it. No spoilers though, because spoilers are banned in this chat in general. But I'm just saying, like, I came out of it and at first I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. And now I'm like, no, I actually like it. I actually very much enjoy this. I'm a cheery person too, so I can't judge. Why are we like this? Why do we like, why are we cheery people that like suffering in stories? This is very strange. Why are we like this? Maybe this could be one of the questions for the Q&A form. Why are we like this? I'm resisting the urge to talk over the Fallout inspired story I'm writing. Oh, okay, Fallout. I'm going to be real. I've never played a Fallout game apart from that silly little mobile game where you manage the vault. Okay, I've never played a Fallout game. I've never watched a playthrough of a Fallout game. That's not true. I've never watched a full playthrough of a Fallout game. I know what Fallout is in principle because I have watched a couple of streams from a streamer that I like who was playing Fallout. But I've never like actually, I don't know the stories of Fallout apart from like, I assume there's nuclear fallout. Like that's literally all I know. Like I assume it's called Fallout because, you know, nuclear weapons. And they live in vaults, I assume, to avoid the fallout. Like this is genuinely my entire understanding. And I know it's got like a kind of like retro futuristic 1950s kind of vibe to it. That's it. Everything that I know. Everything. So I should play it at some point. I should play it. I have them like in my, I think I have, do I have all of them in my Steam library? Wait, let me check. I know I definitely have. Oh, never mind. I don't have any of them. I think I have them on Epic. That's why, because I think they might have been like free at one point on Epic. Funnily enough, there is actually a Fallout sale on Steam right now. I got the little pop-up thingy today. So I could actually play the Fallout games. I could purchase them and we could play them eventually if people would like that as a playthrough of a story-based game for once. Yeah. I'm trying to work out what games I want to play this year Because like I do want to have at least one like story-based game that we work through every week. I think that would be fun, but also that involves commitment, and I'm scared of it. Yeah. It's interesting because that you didn't know, because a lot of the vaults are really unethical social psychology experiments, so I figured that'd catch your interest. That I didn't know, and that does catch my interest. That does catch my interest. Now I'm very interested in playing Fallout, huh? PLDR, a bunch of corporate psychologists end the world with nukes so they can trap everyone in psychological experiments. That's wild. That's wild. Okay, now I definitely want to play it. I think this would be fun. Hello, Caracassa and that red panda. Hello, hello. Thank you for the lab safety. Oh, and Talarian as well. Thank you for the lab safety race to check-ins. And Asias as well. Did I say hello to you yet? I don't know if I did. Hello, welcome in. Yeah, now I'm kind of interested. Huh. Note that Fallouts 1 and 2 are isometric turn-based RPGs, while the more modern games are first-person action RPGs. Okay, okay. I might actually prefer 1 and 2. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? In terms of gameplay, anyway. Yeah. There's a video of all the vaults, but it's several hours long and it's spoilers. Yeah, we don't want spoilers because then it kind of ruins the psychology analysis, right? Yeah. I don't know. At the very least, doing a read-through of the vault info would be very interesting. If playing the huge games would be too much. No, I want to. This is the thing. One of the reasons why I originally started streaming, partially I was like, I want to do science communication. Partially it was because I want to make friends. And partially it was because, dear God, please can this help me get through my massive gaming backlog? And so far the answer is no. I think I have actually finished one game on stream ever. So, yeah. Don't know about that one, Chief. Don't know about that one. Who knows? Maybe at some point we will in fact play games, but not yet, apparently. But maybe. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? I have a plan for the year. Yeah, if you have very strong opinions about what game that you think I should be playing, then we can play it. Just Unpacking, that's the only game you finished. Well, I guess I technically finished PhD Simulator 2. Yes. That's, yes. Have you played Outer Wilds? I have not. I have not. Basically, if you ask me, have I played a game? The answer is probably no. Like, throw me a game. Ask me if I've played it. Probably no. Tell me like your classic games that you think that I should be playing. Like what should I have played? Tetris doesn't count. I've played Tetris. Of course I've played Tetris. Kahoot? I actually don't know if I've played Kahoot. I feel like I probably have. Doom? Never played any Doom. Dark Souls? Never done any Dark Souls. That would be cursed. Superliminal is a puzzle game. I thought it'd be interesting to hear the thought process of finding solutions. I've never played Superliminal and I love puzzle games, so that sounds good. Terraria I booted up once to try and play it with friends and I didn't understand it and then I never played it again. Klondike? I actually don't know if maybe I've played Klondike Solitaire, possibly. My go-to on like the Microsoft games was always Spider Solitaire. When I was like really stressed with my PhD thesis, I'd be like, I'm gonna play some Spider Solitaire. So I'm like level 74 on it or something. It's so silly. Minecraft. I have streamed Minecraft, but I'm not very good at it. But I should play more of that at some point. Pokemon I actually have played quite a lot of. So I've played every game, every main series game from Gen 1 to Gen 5. And I don't think I finished the Gen 5 ones though. And I have also played the first Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, the first 2 Pokemon Ranger games, channel, and there's another one that I'm thinking that I can't think of what it is. Colosseum. Yes, those are the ones that I've played. So I've played a fair few Pokemon games and Pokemon Go, but that doesn't count. Yeah. Oh, and the one that was on the DS where it was like matching up the Pokemon faces. Was it like, what was it called? It had a really weird name. Wait. Pokemon. No, this isn't it. Pokemon matching puzzle game. Pokemon Shuffle? Question mark? No, that doesn't sound right. I think it was... Yes, this one. Pokemon Link Battle. That's the one that I played. Yes. I remember. No, the first one, sorry. No, it was the first one. It was the 2005 DS one, which had this name. Troze? Troze? That one. I've played that one. There we go. Okay, let's see. More games. Outer Wilds. Yeah, I should play Outer Wilds. Probably at some point. Let's see. Astro Protocol 2 is a game that's epic but confusing since there's a lot of typing. I'm not bad at typing. I can type. That's something I could do. Baldur's Gate 3. I've never played it. I've never really watched anyone play it either. Like, I've kind of hung around a little bit in people's streams where they're playing it sometimes, but the thing is with gaming streams, I don't really watch it. I like listen to people talking, and then I like don't watch the gameplay. So because I'd rather play the game myself. I'm not big on watching other people play games. Outer Space. I've never even heard of that one. Stalker. You want me to play Stalker? Stalker, Doom, Dark Souls, Battletech, Homeworld, Armored Core, Ace Combat. These I feel Psychonauts. I get lots of suggestions to play Psychonauts. RimWorld. Isn't RimWorld like... I feel like I've heard of it. Hollow Knight. I would be terrible at Hollow Knight. Pathologic is literally set in a plague-ridden city that's on the intersection of two different cultures. That sounds kind of fun. Chex Quest. What is that? What is Chex Quest? I feel like some of these are now just like, oh, Dream Barbecue. What? Some of these sound fake. I can't tell which of these are real anymore. Also, hello, Commander Caleb. Welcome in. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in and for the head pats. And hello, Tayu. Hello. And Kami Belladonna. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Yeah, I actually can't tell. Did you play any Flash browser games when I was younger? I feel like I did. I feel like I played the Stickman one. And I feel like that that I know that I did. I know that I definitely played some, but I don't remember what. Yeah. Oxygen Not Included is a game I swear should be allowed on school computers to teach classes. I love that. Wait, I've been like obsessed with do you all know the YouTuber what is it? It's like Chubby Emu, who does like dramatic readings of cases, but then like he like records really funny stock footage to go with it, but then it's actually also educational when you learn about the biochemistry of the medical condition that the person got taken to the emergency department for. That I've been watching so much of that recently. Some of them are not good to be watching while you're eating though, but I have been watching so much of that channel recently and I don't know why. It's like, it's just been calling to me. I love the games by Nitrome, like Skywire and Frostbite, classic Flash games by a British company. They still hold up. I don't remember. I feel like I would probably recognize them if you put them in front of me, if that makes sense. But I think I'm not good at like names. I'm not good at remembering. Yeah. Claire Obscure would be actually a great game from a psych perspective. It's got a lot of dimensions to it. I see. What about the Oregon Trail? I feel like I'm gonna forget all of these suggestions. Put them in the if you want to put some of them in the Discord server, I can make a quick thread for game game suggestion? Or is there already one in peer review? Is there already one? No, there is not, I think. Okay. Okay. I will make a new one. Game suggestions. No, there's none. Okay, I will make one. How do I do that? I've forgotten how to do it. Wait, I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. That's why I couldn't remember how to do it, is because it was covered up. Okay. Put them here. Suggestions. Post. There we go. Link. And then I will dump the link here. There we go. Okay. Check me out doing things. This is very exciting. I'm so on top of it. Wow, check me out. Hi J5. Hello. Welcome in. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Hello Gorza. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us today. There we go. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with this. My thing keeps moving around. There we go. My thing keeps moving around and it's terribly annoying. Okay. Blueprints has to be the best puzzle game. Ah, okay. I do like puzzle games. What would help your partner push? This is a good question. In general, lurking. Lurking helps. Being in the stream helps. Yeah, tell your friends. Yeah, exactly. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Tell your mom. Tell your boss at work. Can I bother you with a stream idea in DMs? It's a bit more dragged out, but you've said your DMs are a mess and I didn't want to pile them on top. They are indeed a mess. I would prefer it to be put in the server, but if you can't put it in the server, that's okay. Just know that I have a 3 to 6 business month turnaround at the minute, unless it's urgent. Yeah. When it comes to puzzle games, I need to recommend the Talos Principle and The Witness. I've heard of Talos Principle, I think. Yeah. Hi, Morpheus. No, welcome. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Yes, month. Yes. 3 to 6 business months. Okay. So what counts as a business month? Good question. A month where I'm streaming, which there will actually be a few months where I'm not streaming coming up. So yeah. Not for a while. It's not till very much later in the year, so don't panic. But there's going to be some time where I have to travel. So yeah. I gotta travel. I gotta go places. I'm trying to work out whether I should get a better laptop that can potentially cope with streaming. ? I'm debating whether I should do that. I feel like it might be a good investment because I've kind of started to manage get my brilliant. Okay, my PC is starting to be a little bit more functional. Because with Maple's help, I fixed what was the main thing that was throttling my PC. So that's good. But I'm also that doesn't change the fact that I probably do need a couple of upgrades on it still, regardless. And on top of that, I definitely cannot take it traveling with me. So yeah. So I'm debating whether I should invest in getting because my current laptop's from 2014. So I'm debating whether I should invest in getting a framework laptop so that I can spec it pretty good and then take it traveling with me. And then assuming that I'm in a location with good enough Wi-Fi, I can get a portable microphone as well and then stream regardless of where I am potentially. This is what I'm thinking, maybe. So yeah, I don't know. I'm debating it. Because it's expensive. It's really expensive. Why everything's so expensive now? Why are PCs so expensive? Why are laptops so expensive? I know why. but still, I don't like it. Sob. Cry. 2014 laptop, how is that thing still alive? Well, I've replaced a couple of parts on it, and I also run Ubuntu on it, so it's not like struggling too badly, you know? It runs fine, but it doesn't work for streaming. So yeah. Also, Komi Belladonna, thank you so much for the 30 stream streak. What the heck? One stream per business day is a business month. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. 30 is, that's wild. Thank you so much. Thank you. To give myself a mission, and because a VTuber I follow is interested in that sort of things, I've decided to go to a load of brutalist buildings when I'm in Prague and get pictures of them, so I get more walking done if I have a side quest. That's such a good idea. I love that. This is very good, actually. In general, like, if you need to motivate yourself to do something, give yourself a goal. It's genuinely, like, such a big motivator. It's so good. So, like, even, like, at the minute, right? Okay, I'm gonna use myself as an example. Today I woke up and I was, like, in a bad mood, and I was like, I don't want to stream. I'm gonna cancel. And then I was like, no, we're doing partner push. Well, you need to stream. I need to stream. I'm gonna do it. I can't let everyone down. Because we've got the goal, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I can bring myself to do it. I'll just delay it slightly. And here we are. I am live and you are here. So thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Tao's Principle has some good philosophy, and The Witness has no story, but both were good puzzle games. Okay. Interesting. You can make a Psydere to taking a break by buying her a mobile setup fundraiser. I don't need a fundraiser though. I've still got the, like, I haven't used any of, okay, I like used the Sciathon funds from August to help me not be homeless in the autumn. And then I was no longer homeless, and now I'm saving money again, and I have replaced it.
Pseudolab gifted a tier 1 sub to Edward
good.
Sugarmaple.
So now I can actually potentially buy a laptop with the Sciathon funds. But I don't know, I'm still debating like whether I want to focus on upgrading the main PC or if I want to focus on getting the mobile setup. But I feel like the mobile setup might be a better idea. Like, that's my gut feeling, because like it's great having a PC where I can play games whilst on stream, but then if I'm going to be spending a few months of this year like not at home for various reasons, it's probably better for me to be able to actually stream something rather than have like lots of weeks where I just don't turn up. Yeah. But yeah, there's going to be a couple of months I think this year where I'm a bit patchy because I have to go places. Yeah. Such is the nature of having, for example, family in a different country, and traveling for work and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Also, Pseudo Lab, thank you so much for the gifted sub. What the heck? Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You could probably go the used MacBook route if you're willing to stomach macOS. But I was thinking framework, because then I can do Linux, and I know people I can ask for help with setting up streaming on Linux if I need to. So yeah. Whereas like Mac, I don't know how it works and I'm kind of scared of it. So that was what I was thinking, is that if I have like a good laptop and I put a Linux distro on it, then I mean, I guess I could even have like a game compatible one, but if I put like a Linux distro on it, then I'll be able to work out how to do things. Whereas if I do Mac OS, I can't work out how to do things, and I am at the whims of my Apple overlords, and that scares me. So that's my thinking. That's my thinking. Yeah. Yeah. It's expensive, but it doesn't get much cheaper soon. I know. It's just gonna keep getting worse. TLDR, it's Neuro's fault. Yeah, it's Neuro's fault that all of the PC parts are so expensive. How dare she? If you don't do too demanding stuff, old hardware can hold up pretty well. That's the thing. Like my 2014 laptop is basically just for work. The most aggressive thing I've ever done on it is run some R code. Like it's, maybe once I like local hosted a static website generator type of thing. Like it's never really had to do very much. It's fine. Like it starts to get a bit stressed sometimes when I try and watch things on it now. Like if I try and watch like a HD video on it that's like more than half an hour, it starts to be like, I am overheating. I am having a bad time. But aside from that, it's fine. So yeah. Yeah. Having a decent laptop while you're traveling would be good, even if you don't end up streaming with it often. Yeah, this is my thinking, is that like it's also just useful in general. Yeah. Yeah. Traveling also means getting nice food that you wouldn't at home. Even if you have to travel, it can still be fun. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like I enjoy traveling. I'm not mad about it. Like I'm very, very grateful that I get to travel with my work. And like some of the things that I'm traveling for are personal things as well, but it's like things that I've always wanted to do. So like, for example, I am planning to go to a certain convention that I've always wanted to go to. Like it's been on my, like, well, not always, but like since I started streaming, I've been intending on going to it. So that's a thing. And then I'm also probably going to be spending like a couple of weeks with my family, but like kind of working, I guess. Like it's not a holiday. It's like I'm going there and I'm just working my normal hours. I checked, I can do this on my visa. Well, I don't need a visa. On my visa status, it's legal. Don't worry. I always check these things. I'm very anxious. But yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be, staying with family for a couple of weeks, and I would like to be able to stream. So yeah, even if it's just like a quick, like 2 hour, like 1 or 2 hour quick, like check-in, being like, even if I'm like reactive, if I just exist, if I turn up and exist for a bit, then at least you know that I am still around. That's my thinking. We can still hang out. Yes. Because I get sad when I can't stream for a long time. So yeah. But I am excited to be able to eat all of the food, especially like where my family live. Because like where my family live is like nostalgia food for me, if that makes sense. Yeah. I hope I don't bring any bad luck. I was watching a stream of one of the VTubers I regularly value, whose power went out after 30 minutes of stream, presumably due to cold weather as she's in Canada. Family had to get the generator out, but she and they were okay. I'm glad they're okay. I'm glad they're okay. There's no bad luck. I mean, I had a bit of bad luck this morning, but it definitely wasn't you. It was just like, I felt bad already, and then minor things just irritated me more than they normally would. Like I cut myself while I was getting the stream set up, and I was like, wah. I didn't cry, but I was like, wah. You know, like an annoyed Waluigi apparently kind of noise. So yeah, that's the kind of day I've been having. Yeah. Mac doesn't really have compatibility with VTuber software. Go Fellies need to write our own software recently. Yeah, that's the thing. And like, I don't know how to do that. So yeah, Linux I think is the more sensible option. Yeah. Traveling for the world's largest train convention confirmed. I am not traveling for the world's largest train convention. I would consider it though. I would consider it. I bet there's a laptop that costs less than the Pikmin song's number of views. I'm not sure, actually, because they're very expensive now. There probably is, but then, like, if I'm getting a really cheap one, what's the point in even upgrading? Because, like, I've got a... Like, it's a 2014 laptop, but it's good, you know? It was very good for back then, which means that now it's a bad laptop, but it does things that... It does everything that you need it to do. It can't run Windows anymore, but it can run Linux perfectly fine, and that's what you need. So, yeah. I'd only consider the MacBook because getting the equivalent graphics on an x64 laptop requires a much heftier system, but macOS doesn't. But if Mac doesn't work, then it's not a solution. Yeah, that's the thing. Like if it can't support face tracking and stuff, then yeah. And again, like I don't know exactly how I'd get it working. I'm confident that I would be able to do something though, you know? Like, and I also know more people that stream on Linux who I could potentially ask. So yeah. The drink of childhood council juice. Yummy. Hi, Racco. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're good. MacBooks seem nice, but hard to repair, and that puts me completely off getting one. Yeah, same. Also same. Like, I don't like the idea of, like, breaking it and then I can't repair it. That's why I had like a ThinkPad originally. Like my 2014 one's a ThinkPad, and it's like, I mean, it's still, you can take it apart and replace things basically. Like I can take things apart and replace it. So, and my barrier is like, or barrier, I guess that's not the right word. Like my assessment is if I can do it, then it's probably good enough, you know? So yeah, and I can do it. I've done it before. I think I replaced some RAM sticks on my ThinkPad. So I think that a framework would work well for me, and I think I would struggle with a MacBook. I also don't like the Mac interface very much. Like it, not for me, not for me. Anyway, shall we? Oh, it updates. The spreadsheet auto updates. That's exciting. Okay. I have people's submissions. This is very exciting. We can go through and answer some questions. I have some questions, and we're in the science and technology. So we should probably do some science and technology rather than just yapping. Okay. Here is a question. Right. Okay. I am entering the question. It's quite a long one. Okay. This first one's like a personal career question. So that's good. That's nice and easy for me to deal with. There's going to be an ad break. So actually, I'll run the ad break while I'm setting up this question, because this is not very appealing and exciting content, I think. Debating whether I should actually just BRB. You know what? Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just BRB. I know that you all love your Pikmin song. You can have your Pikmin song. How do you feel about that? Very exciting times. But I've set up that question. It's ready to go now. So we will start answering the questions when I come back. Yapping is science, though. True. I don't know how eBay works in the UK, but over here, it's a machine refurbished flippers on eBay on this side of the pond. Oh, it's the same here. Yeah, it's the same here. You can get some decent travel ones that are, as big businesses flip their tabletops and desktops somewhat regularly. That happens less from what I've seen. Yeah, kind of a bit more difficult to find secondhand business stuff. But my ThinkPad is business surplus. It turned up with, also so is my like drawing, like my Wacom pad as well. That is also, my Wacom one was owned by like I think it was the company that made Farmville. It's like a farm, it's got like Farmville branding on the back of it or something. It's got like a sticker basically that says Zynga. That's the company. It's made by Zynga. Not made by Zynga. It's like owned by, it was owned by Zynga. It was one of their tablets, and then they sold it on eBay, and now I own it. So that's quite funny. I've left the Zynga sticker on it because I think it's really funny. But yeah, anyway, I am now going to BRB. I will see you in a few minutes. Enjoy your Pikmin and or your ad, depending on your situation. See you in a few minutes. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7, Pikmin 18 million and 11, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin, new centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound, Pikmin electrons covalent bond, Pikmin AI published IEEE, slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your culture, Pikmin in your culture, Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Pikmin 18 million and 11. Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin. New centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound. Pikmin electrons covalent bond. Pikmin AI published IEEE. Slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Pikmin 18 million and 11. Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin. New centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound. Pikmin electrons covalent bond. Pikmin AI published IEEE. Slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Pikmin 18 million and 11. Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin. New centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound. Pikmin electrons covalent bond. Pikmin AI published IEEE. Slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Pikmin 18 million and 11. Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin. New centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound. Pikmin electrons covalent bond. Pikmin AI published IEEE. Slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. I hate it when there's Pikmin in my culture. It's terrible. Wait, what's this poll? Wait. Will we finish the questions? No. No, but with Greg's. Yes? Question mark? What questions? It's a good question. What questions? Indeed. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know where I am. Is it better than worse than the queue at Greg's? Nothing is worse than the queue at Greg's. Yeah. The ads on Twitch. The ads on Twitch. When there are ads on Twitch, I want to hide in a ditch. That's so good, Wednesday. I wasn't late. I was letting the Pikmin song finish. Oh dear. I don't know how much important information the Pikmin song has pushed out of my head because that's where the information was stored is now full of the Pikmin song. Pikmin in your brain. Pikmin in your white matter, in fact. Perhaps. I guess maybe it's Pikmin in your grey matter. I don't know. I'm not a neuroscientist, but there you go. That might be a inspiration for the next iteration of the Pikmin song. Extended edition. Pikmin in your cerebellum. You can no longer walk in a straight line because there's Pikmin in your cerebellum, yeah. Excuse me, Q Greg's is art. The Q Greg's is art. I do have a lot of respect for Jimmy Brown, the 19-year-old alcoholic with several neurodegenerative diseases. I do have a lot of respect for him as an artist. Yeah. Thank you for the 3-stream streak, the Rogue of Light. Thank you, thank you. Honestly speaking, I'm too tired to think of something to ask that isn't a quadruple negative. That's fine. We can make it make sense. I might even have a question already, perhaps, that is what you are wanting to ask, and then we all win. So, also relatable. Also, hello, Baron Guillermo. Hello. I saw your live safety register check-in. And also, hello, Seon. Hello, welcome in. What are the faults of the brain for? Storing Pikmin. Correct answer. He's 19. He's not actually 19. The character's 19. He's like 40 probably. He looks like he's like late 30s, early 40s type of situation. He reminds me of like, he actually reminds me of my one of my A-level psychology teachers. He kind of reminds me of one of my A-level psychology teachers who used to dress in exactly the same way and had a similar kind of vibe. The main difference was that he wore glasses, but he did also play guitar, and he also had a very pessimistic outlook on life. And I found him incredibly funny. Like, other people didn't really seem to get his sense of humor, but I found him very, very funny. Yeah. I had two psychology, like, oh no, I had three A-level psychology teachers, and like they were like Marmite to a lot of people, but I thought they were all brilliant. I liked them all, and they're probably the reason why, yeah, why I ended up being in psychology in the end. He looks like a 15-year-old Brit. True. I recently listened to his whole album, I Urinated on a Butterfly, pure art. It really is. It really is. I think that actually the way that I found him was through the Q at Greg's. It was like a legendary algorithm recommendation. I think it only had like 15k views on it maybe when it was recommended to me. And I think it was like 4 days after it had been uploaded. And I was like, what is this? And then I went through his entire discography and I was like, this is so incredibly funny to me. Like, if I was going to make music as a VTuber, I think it would have Jimmy Brown vibes, because I'm not very good at doing things seriously, because I am emotionally stunted. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so I have the first question here. I am putting it here. We're putting it in the corner. I'm putting it in a place where people can see it. There we go. Okay. What is this? Oh, okay. Question. There you go. Look at that. Okay. This is the first question that we are answering. Yippee! So, guest show bird, thank you for submitting the question. And the question is, now that you've finished your PhD, do you plan to continue doing research projects to any extent in the future? And if so, do you have an idea of what you're wanting to research? The answer is yes and yes. I actually, my job at the minute is kind of like half postdoctoral researcher. Like, that's a part of my job, I guess. That's not my whole job, but it's a part of what I'm doing. So I am doing a research project right now. It's something which it's not like what my first choice would be, but I enjoy it. It's fun. It's like a fun project to be working on. So I'm not mad. Yeah. What questions is the top answer in the poll? Brilliant. Well, there you go. There's a question. Now you know what questions. Are we being observed right now? No, I hope not. I hope not. I mean, apart from me. Are you the team lead / glorified PI? No. No. Yes. No. I'm like, okay. I designed the research. So it's like I'm working on a grant project. The grant project was already decided as a whole thing by my manager and then like two people in like a couple of people in a collaborating organization. And then I've come in and I'm doing the research on it and also helping with like there's like some curriculum development involved. But I've had basically like full say over what we do as research. So I like basically was like, I think we should do this, this, and this. And then I said that to the people that are technically in charge, and they were like, yeah, do what you want, basically, as long as it makes sense. You are the psychologist here. So yeah, I guess functionally, like I am gonna be the one running the research side, so kind of, but technically no. My manager is one of the PIs, and a collaborator in another organization is the other PI. And then there's like other people who are technically more senior on the grant, but we're all like working together as a team. There's no like, it's one of those things where it's like in theory there's a hierarchy and in practice there isn't, type of thing. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, I can't say specifically what it's about, but I will say that it involves training development, and I am generally working in the general meta science / open science / scientific infrastructure vague domain, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think I can, yeah, that I can say without doxing myself. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, I'm not like doing like traditional academic research. I'm doing research that's like hopefully going to be useful for people. I don't know if that makes any sense. Yeah. Thank you for the lab safety ratio check-ins. Ty said Victor and Mental Mentat. Welcome, welcome. And also Moony Goose, welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Welcome into the research participation pool. And Morpheus Doll, thank you so much for the 3-stream streak. Thank you so much. Thank you. Makes sense, probably because I'm writing a book. This is true. You are, in fact, writing a book on the vague umbrella area that I also work in. One day we may interact in a professional way. And if we do, if you recognize my voice, don't say anything. Thank you so much for the like, Maximilian. Thank you. Really threading the don't dox yourself needle with this one. Yeah, it's really hard to talk about what research you're doing without doxing yourself. Like, I think that what I'm saying is vague enough. Saying that I'm generally vaguely in the kind of like scientific infrastructure / open science / open research / open education, etc. kind of area, right? That's like meta sciencey vague kind of stuff. Like that's quite a big area now. So I don't think it does dox me. Like it'd be really hard to even narrow in on what like organization I work for. So yeah, because there's like quite a lot of them now, actually, quite a few. But yeah, what projects I would like to do? I would love to. What would I like to do? I would like to do more research into conspiracy theories and misinformation, because that's not something I'm doing right now. And ultimately, like, I chose that for my PhD because I find it interesting and exciting. So I would love to do more of that. I would actually really like to do some research around like vtubing and how it intersects with a bunch of other stuff. So like how people think about AI and how people respond to science communication and stuff like that. And like using vtubing as like an educational tool. These are things that I would love to research. Yeah. This is a vaguely the kinds of things that I would like to do, but I'm not doing them. Maybe also some work into like intergroup relations, because I always found that really interesting. I have some ideas around like intergroup relations type of stuff, mostly tying into conspiracy theories and misinformation, to be honest. But like, yeah, the kind of thing where it's like looking at social groups and how they interact with each other and why they start hating each other. maybe also some like political polarization stuff. Like all of those kinds of things I find really interesting, but I don't have the chance to research them at the minute. Yeah. Speaking of managers, my deputy manager is moving teams later this month. I'm hoping that I've made enough noises about being interested in moving up the ladder. Also, he told me that we're losing people faster than we can recruit, and the people who we are recruiting are all school leavers that leave at the drop of the hat. Oh, that sounds stressful. Good luck. I hope you get the career progression that you want. Career progression's scary. I'm scared. I feel like I would not cope very well at a bigger company. Like I work at a organization that is fairly small in the grand scheme of things. So I feel like if I was like at a big company, I would be stressed and I wouldn't know how to navigate it. And like someone with high turnover, like I would not cope very well because I take a while to like warm up to people and start to talk to them. So that would make me so nervous. Hello, the homotype as well. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety res to check in. I mean, research is naturally rather specific. Yeah, I mean, research, and I don't know, actually. There's quite a lot of researchers. I think the thing that's like protective about both protective and problematic about being like a researcher in a kind of academic-y sense is that like you publish papers and you have like profiles and stuff. You might have like a pure profile or a Google Scholar profile or something like that. And that means that you're relatively searchable, which can be both a benefit and a problem. Like, if I wanted to stay completely anonymous, I probably wouldn't be doing science communication, to be honest, because like it would be really easy to find out who I am just based on like the things that I said that I have researched, probably. So yeah, like one thing saying that like you're a researcher, that might not necessarily that wouldn't dox you because there's enough of them in the world, but like saying that you're a researcher in social psychology who does like this and this topic, that then starts to narrow you down to like, oh, there's a pool of like 10 people that you could be if I know how to look into it. But please don't, by the way. Yeah. My research interest would theoretically dox me, but nobody seems to actually care to do so. I hope that that's what people do with me. I think it's not very exciting to dox me. Like, people would find me, they'd find out who I am, and then they'd be like, there is literally nothing interesting about this woman, actually. She's incredibly boring. I'm incredibly boring. It's like, wow, what are you going to share? The fact that I am, in fact, a psychologist. We knew that already. Like, you want to do share my thesis title? Okay. And question mark? Like, why do I care? Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really that much that's very doxable about me. Even like where I am, like, you know, even saying that I'm in Ireland, that in itself is like, you know, Ireland's not a very big place, you know? And realistically, like, yeah, I don't know. We'll find out that you are indeed British. Exactly. Like, yeah, I have a PhD. Exactly. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Just dox yourself already, Rosalind. You strike me as a Rosalind. I don't know how to feel about the fact that I have a Rosalind demeanor, actually. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Why do you think I have a... Okay, I need to know the logic of this, actually. Why do I have a Rosalind demeanor? Because, like, I associate Rosalind with being, like, a posh person name, actually. That maybe not a posh person name, but it's like a... Either you're posh or your parents are old type of situation. That's what I associate that name with. I would like to know your thinking. Why do you think I have a Rosalind demeanor? Should I be offended by this? Also, thank you for the 10 stream streak, Ty. Thank you so much. Thank you. 10 streams, let's go. We should do a research collab on scicomm streaming and misinformation. I would actually love to. I would actually unironically love to. Like, I need you to understand I don't have like much of a research portfolio because basically I pre-print things and then I move on. Because I don't... Like, I wasn't planning on... I'm now in a bit of an awkward situation because, like, during my PhD, I was like, I don't really want to go into academia. I'll probably go into industry or, like, the non-profit sector, which I did. But now I work for a non-profit and I'm like, I kind of need to get grants. And to get grants, I need to have peer-reviewed publications. And now I'm like starting to cycle back on everything and be like, oh God, I guess I should write this up for publication now then. So I have a list of like 5 papers that I need to write this year and I have started on none of them. And I need to start thinking about more as well. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We said nice lady has handed in her notice and doesn't even have a new... Oh, wait. We said nice lady has handed in her notice and doesn't even have a new job to move to. That's how badly some people don't want to work at our place. Me, compared to some of the places I've worked at, the current place is bliss. That's a mood. I worked at a very, very intense retail store. And lots of people didn't stay there. They didn't want to be there because it was too intense. But the place I'd been before that had been like a low-cost clothing retailer with a bad reputation. And it was infinitely better. And I was like, I kind of want to stay. So, yeah. Yeah. Did you see the new How to Do Research playlist by Crash Course? I didn't. Scientific thinking. Oh, I might watch that. Exciting. What do you think of PhD by publications? Ooh, that's a good question. Here you go. You get to skip the queue. There you go. What do you think of PhD by publications? There you go. Okay. Yes. What do you think of PhD by publications? A good question. I think they're pretty good. I think they frankly make the most sense. I feel like a monograph thesis. So basically the two types of publication, the two types of PhD that you can do in like a British and Irish system is you can do PhD by monograph, which is where you write a big old chunky document that outlines all of your research and it's just basically all in one place. Or you can publish your research as you go and then you take, say, like 3 or 4 papers, put them all together, write like kind of little things that you write like an introduction that connects them all together and then a discussion section that also connects them all together. And then you submit that as your thesis. The second method is basically like what they do everywhere in mainland Europe. It's like the monograph thing seems to be a very distinctly British and Irish thing to do. Unless you're in the humanities, in which case monograph is more common because generally the trajectory is that you do a monograph and then you get it published as a book. Yeah, but like in science in mainland Europe, normally you would do PhD by publications. I think that it makes sense if you, especially if you want like a career in academia, like, or really a career in research in general, like you should probably try and get publications unless you know for a fact that like you aren't going to be working somewhere that requires you to have those publications. I knew that, so or like I was very confident of it, so I didn't focus on the publications, but that was kind of a unique case. I did do a monograph in the end and it was painful. For sanity, I would also say publications is probably better. Yeah. I don't know. Cranky old British wine aunt energy. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I understand this. I understand. Hi, Zerkia. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety ratio check-in. How are you doing? I hope you're good. Oh, and J-Lo, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And Anna as well. Thank you for joining us too. I hope you also have a good D&D session. Have fun. Have fun. My PhD was partially publications. 3 chapters were either published or accepted for publication. A 4th chapter was intended to be revised for publication, but I haven't got around to it. And then there was an intro and conclusion chapter. See, this also makes sense, kind of like a combo in between. Okay. Mine was entirely monograph, so none of my chapters are published as papers. They are just open access thesis, which like I think in itself is okay because obviously, you know, I did the defense, so technically it has been peer reviewed. So people can cite it and it's like open access. So if people ever do want to use my research, they can and they hopefully will. But, you know, realistically, most people never read a thesis. Yeah. So I don't know. It's there if people want it, but I do want to try and get them published. But I think I'm not going to be able to do like a chapter by chapter thing. I think I'm going to have to combine a couple of studies into one paper and then have one separate one, if that makes sense. Yeah. Thank you for the hydrate, Umidin. Thank you. I'm lost. Do you still need to do a thesis, or is it different? So a thesis, you do need to do a thesis, but with publications, you can take papers that you've already published during your PhD program and then write like an introduction and discussion that links them all together, and then that is your thesis. So you're basically like submitting things that you've already published, I guess. Yeah, as part of the thesis. Gotta go. I'm on day 3 of data analysis that was estimated to be 3 hours. I'm sorry, Seon, that's such a mood. I'm sorry for laughing. That's such a mood. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Yes, please. Oh my god, wait. But that should... I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Yes, please go and do your data analysis. I'm sorry I'm laughing so much because that's happened to me so much in my PhD, where I was like, this is a simple R script, I'll be fine. And then it just like ends up taking an entire week. Oh god, the universal experience of any kind of quant, actually any type of research in general, saying that. Yeah, not even just quant. Yeah. I do read theses as it happens. Then again, I often have very narrow stuff I'm looking up. Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. Maybe someone will read my thesis one day. I make a point of reading theses and dissertations of people I know precisely because most people don't read them. My friends put so much work into those things only for their committee to read it. Nah, I'm going to support my pals by reading their work. That's so cool. I love that so much. I did also read quite a few of my friends' theses saying that. I did do that. Yeah. I even cited some of them. If they finished before me, I was like, I'm going to cite you, teehee. And then I did. So, yeah. That's a laugh of past trauma. Yeah. That was like a IRL. That brings back some memories type of laugh. It was indeed. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, pain. Hello, spontaneous male pregnancy. Thank you so much for the lab safety registered check-in. Welcome. Okay, so. Right, question answered. Okay, next question. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay, this one's an interesting question. This one's an interesting question that I'm gonna... Okay. Oh, it's too long. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. This is the question. So, the Rogue of Light, are you still here? Because I would like some clarification on this question, if that's okay. Hi, hello raiders. Hello. Hi, Caleb. Thank you so much for the raid. What the heck? Welcome in. Hi. Get in the Skinner box. Welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for the raid, Caleb. How was your stream? How are you doing? I hope you're good. And hello, raiders. Hi, I'm Psydere. I'm a research psychologist. That's my job. I've got a PhD and stuff. And today we're answering some psychology questions. You can submit psychology question in the form in the pinned comment if you would like a question answered, potentially, maybe. Can't promise it. There's many questions, and I will not get round to all of them. Hi, Vanessa. Welcome in. Yes, get in the Skinner box. You must get in the Skinner box. This is what happens. And hello, Java Clover. Thank you so much for the lab safety registered check-in. Welcome. I was studying for an exam I got in 3 weeks, but it turned into smashing my head into understanding ECGs, even though I don't got to know them in detail. Oh my god. That's... Okay, first of all, that's a mood with everything I've ever had to study that's even vaguely medical. Secondly, it's funny you say that. I'm actually going to have an ECG at some point in the next couple of weeks. That's really weird. So you'll be able to tell me if you've remembered things. You'll be able to tell me roughly what's happening. Exciting. Oh, I hope you at least made some progress though, even though it sounds like it was frustrating. I hope you made some progress. Studying good in general, I think. Yes, good stuff. But yeah, if you need to, take a break and stretch your legs and get some food or whatever, please absolutely do. Especially since you've been doing a studying stream, those things are like brain intensive. Yeah. Yep, that's the heart, all right. Yep, yeah, that is indeed a signal that is coming out of the heart due to contractions of the ventricles or something. I don't know. Yeah. They call them ECGs in Britain. We call them EKGs to make sure people don't get them confused with EEGs. My first job was actually doing EKGs. So it's funny you say that. I was like really confused as to why I've been referred to an ECG, because basically the law behind this is that I had like what we think might have been a seizure in the summer. It was like a one-off thing. It's never happened again since. So I was expecting to be referred to an EEG, which is like, from everyone that doesn't know, that's, I'm not going to remember what it stands for, but it's like a thing where they like put caps on your head and then they measure your brain activity. An ECG is an echocardiogram where they put instead electrodes on your chest and they measure your heart activity, even not your brain, your heart activity. So an electroencephalogram. Okay, excellent. Thank you, flatulence incarnate. But yeah, so I thought I was going to be referred to an EEG, which was the brain cap one, because that makes sense, surely, if you've had something that resembles a seizure. But no, they've referred me for an ECG, also known as an EKG, which is heart. So I don't know what's going on with that. Not sure why I've been referred to that. I don't think I have any heart problems. Maybe they think I just fainted. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. That's exciting. I might even have an MRI apparently, which is very exciting. Yeah. Hello, Hunter. Thank you for the lab safety rated check-in. Thank you. Hang on. What was... I missed something just before the raid. For some reason I thought PhD by publication is just like a senior person with research done already coming in and saying, okay, give me a PhD. No, it has to be research that you do while you're enrolled on the program. Although I think that some universities in Europe do potentially sometimes do that if you have an agreement with them. If it's like an agreement in existence, I think that might be a thing. Don't quote me on that though. We expected the first paper in my PhD to take 3 months to finish. Now we're at 12 months and 3 additional co-authors, and one of them asked, so how many PhDs do you want to get on this topic? Also, common PhD experience, I think. The bank holiday Monday tomorrow. Let's go. Enjoy. I'm pre-gaming next week's uni labs by just finishing them because bored. That's a good use of your time, I think. I used to do that sometimes too. I'm slowly grinding out further understanding because I suck at memorizing, so I got to figure it out how it properly works. I'm the same. If I don't understand how it works, I can't remember any of it. I'm the same, which is why I like struggled so much in secondary school, was because they would be like, you just need to memorize the thing, and I'd be like, I can't memorize the thing. I need you to tell me how it works properly so that I can start to understand the thing. And that was the great thing about like my psychology teachers at school, was that they actually did do that. Like, I would ask questions and they would answer it to the best of their ability. And oftentimes they would be like, I don't know. I will go and look it up. And then they'd come back and they'd be like, psychology in general doesn't know. But like, if I know that we don't know, then that's a start, you know? So, yeah. I can see arrhythmia causing seizure if your blood flow gets wonky enough. Oh, okay. Exciting. Interesting. We'll find out. I'm excited to find out what's going on with it, actually. Unironically, like, things that aren't, so like emergency medical stuff scare me. Not good. Scary. But non-emergency stuff, so like whenever I get like routine blood tests and things like that, I find it so fun, I'm not gonna lie. I love looking through my results and then trying to be like, oh, look, my ferritin levels are kind of low. Tut. Oh, but my cholesterol is literally perfect. Oh, exciting. I don't know. I like doing that. It's fun. It's fun. Hello, Dragonator. Hello, hello. Welcome in. I'm the same too. I could never memorize poems and I learned to hate them. Yeah. Thankfully, when I did like literature, I got to do it with like a annotated bibliography. If I didn't have a bibliography, I would have cried. I would have hated it so much more. My grades actually improved as I advanced in education as the amount of memorization dropped off. Same! I was the same. I was the same. Yeah. So like I did pretty well in my GCSEs, but I think that was more just because like I wasn't going to school. So I just didn't go. So so GCSEs is like 14 to 16. I had really bad attendance at school. But like I wasn't doing nothing. I was just like studying myself at home because I didn't like school. So like I did pretty well in my GCSEs because of that. But then when I did my A levels, I got to the point where it's like it's a higher quantity of memorization and like deeper memorization, I guess. Especially chemistry. Like chemistry A level, it felt to me like the whole thing was basically just memorize these carbon-based structures, memorize these ions and how they interact with things. And it's like, I can't do it. I need to understand why they interact that way. Otherwise, and like I think my teachers just weren't, I don't think they were doing a bad job, but I think they just weren't teaching in a way that worked for me, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really struggled with that. Biology was like marginally better, but not much. I still got like, all right grades. I passed everything. But then like psychology was the one where I did well, I think. It's fair to say I did well. Like I got an A in the end because my teachers were explaining like why things did that. So yeah. Yeah. And then I got into uni and then I was like actually getting like, very good grades. Yeah. Obviously, I ended up doing a PhD. Yeah. Not to brag, I'm sorry. Yeah. I had an echocardiogram the other week and I was salty because I couldn't see the screen while they were doing it. I think that makes sense because like if you can see your heart rate whilst they're measuring it, it actually affects it. So like that's why also like sometimes if you have like a pulse monitor, they'll turn it away from you because if you look at it, for some people like watching it go up makes it go up more because you get anxious. So I can understand it, but like I'm gonna ask for them to go through it with me afterwards because I'm interested. Yeah. In your English GCSEs, you just have to rage bait the examiner enough that they can't be bothered to argue with you. You just got to throw in some keywords and then like make a kind of semi-logical argument and then you're grand. Like you can basically say whatever you want. I think I went off on some really weird tangents in mine. I can't even remember what I studied, but yeah, I think that I went off on like a weird animal rights tangent I remember I studied of mice and men and I went off on like a weird animal rights tangent. I was like, this is an animal rights reading into of mice and men and the rabbits or like the puppies and stuff. And yeah. Anyway. And then I got a good grade, so they clearly liked it, but if you like just like, oh yeah, here's the correct terminology. This is the use of the only one I remember is like pathetic fallacy, and I don't know what that is. That's the only phrase I remember because it was funny. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. I had the same problem for biochem in kind of sort of college until I got a teacher that properly explained why the electrons act the way they do, and then it clicked. And I feel sad because I feel like there are so many good like YouTube videos about that kind of thing now that can fill in those gaps for you, but like they didn't really exist as much when I was in school because it was, like over 10 years ago now. Oh, that feels weird to say. Ugh, don't like that. So yeah, like if I was in school now, I think I would have done actually a lot better, ironically. Yeah. It does affect it, and you're not a doctor, so you're not qualified to interpret, and people sometimes jump to the wrong conclusions. Yeah, exactly. But I like to talk through it afterwards with the doctor, or if they're qualified to, the nurse/technician that's helping. Yeah. I mean, there's been a couple of times where like I've had like I don't know, like an ultrasound or something, and then the technician is like, "Oh, look at that, that's funky," and I'm like, "Oh, what is it? Exciting." Yeah. I think that everyone's memory works a lot better when they can attach the facts to a more complete picture. It might be more extreme for some people who practically can't memorize stuff without that, but it should be common teaching practice to teach with a bit deeper level of understanding in mind. I mean, you kind of got to balance it. That's the thing, right? Like, for most, like, how can I explain this? Most people, you teach them something and they don't start to dig into the why. I'm like a why person. Like, you will be like my teacher at school, for example, would be like, I don't know, this organic compound reacts with this reagent in this way. And I would be like, why? And they'd be like, I don't know, something about the bonds in it, for example. And I'd be like, but why do the bonds react in that way? And that would be the thing where like they'd kind of give like a cursory explanation, but it wouldn't be complete enough for me to understand how the process works. And I think that bit isn't standard. That bit isn't a standard thing to happen. There's a reason why teaching, like the way that it's normally structured is that like with each level of education, you kind of build up a layer, if that makes sense. Like, you know, so like you go to primary school and they're like, everything is made of tiny things that all stick together. And then you go into secondary school and they're like, but also they have like, you know, different charges and they kind of stick together and they've all got like a different mass. And then you go to like upper secondary school and they're like, and also by the way, those electrons, like don't think of them as like rings anymore. They're actually like units of energy basically, and they move energy levels and that's what causes reactions. But then like I'm guessing you go to university and it gets like extended even beyond that. And like that makes sense because it's like building up people's knowledge. You need to meet them where they are to some extent. Like you need to simplify it enough that they can understand what you're telling them, but you also need to provide enough information that they actually remember what you're telling them. Like it makes sense. But the problem for me is that like I think my problem was that because I did so much like extra reading as a kid, just out of interest about stuff, I came in with a lot more base knowledge. And so like I was at the point where they like, you know, it'd be like secondary school and like I would be ready for A-level explanation at least, and they would still be giving the secondary school explanation. So I think that's what the problem was. But I agree, like making connections between things, that's definitely a really, really good way to learn things in general. Yeah. I mean, like that's the thing that we always say with science communication, right? Like you need to make it interesting to people, and that means simplifying it. Like most people are not like, what is the, like most people do not sit here and go like, what is the philosophical underpinning of the scientific method? Most people just want to know cool science fact. Like, yeah. 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 Also, hi Furry the snake. Hello. How you doing? I hope you're good. Let's see. I'm sorry, I've been like yapping. Hi Dr. Rect as well. Hello. Thank you so much for the 10 stream streak. What the heck? Thank you so much. How common is it for an autistic psychologist who go into psychology to understand neurotypicals? I don't know. I have heard it a couple of times actually. Once I read, I think it was an opinion piece by an autistic clinical psychologist who said that the reason why they went into psychology was to try and understand people. So it seems to be not n equals 1. Yeah. From my very limited knowledge of how do these bonds work, it's exactly where quantum mechanics says bonjour and things get really complicated. Yeah, I think I'm like a step below that. The problem was that like, because I spent so long kind of like a like late secondary school level knowledge about it during my lower secondary school, that when I went into upper secondary school, I then was no longer interested in it because they were teaching me things that I kind of already knew, but then they were like kind of starting to build on it. So for example, like now you know how electrons work vaguely. Now we're going to teach you how the bonds, like why the bonds do that as a result. But like by that point, I kind of lost interest because it's been like 5 years of the same thing being said over and over, which I knew was wrong. So that, I think that was my problem. And then I started being like, oh, I guess I should actually study. And then I couldn't memorize it because I didn't care anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Ryo Die. Hello, hello. Hi. Good question posted up there, referring to the one in your background. Yeah, okay, yeah, we need to come back to this, actually. We need to come back to this. I have colleagues that are clinical psychologists that never use therapy and are hesitant to still, and I don't understand why, since we preach anti-stigma and it makes you a better clinical psychologist. That's really weird. Also, everybody, wait. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Everybody, if you didn't know, Rai is also a psychologist. Rai is also a psychologist. So if you like psychology VTuber, please go and check her out. She's so nice as well. She's like lovely. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Well, I guess like somewhere between psychology and neuroscience, right? That's more accurate, I think, from what you've told me. Yeah. But yeah, go check out. Go check out. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's definitely a thing, right? It's definitely a thing. I don't think it's that what I want to clarify about this question. So why is it that psychologists and therapists seem to neglect their own mental health when they themselves are clearly unwell? So my thing that I want to preface with this is that I think that this is a minority. I think this is a minority. I think that so I'm basing this anecdotally. I don't know the evidence around this, but out of my circle of friends and colleagues who are like psychiatrists or therapists or clinical psychologists or counseling psychologists or forensic psychologists, I think that most of them are actually very good at keeping on top of their own mental health. I think that, you know, they know all of the techniques and they're good at using them. That being said, I think there's kind of I would assume that there are three kind of things that contribute to this. I think the biggest one is like systemic. I think a lot of people working in healthcare don't look after themselves because they just don't have the time. Like, healthcare is a really, really stressful job, be it like physical or mental health. Like, it's a really stressful job. There's lots of demands on your time. It's really like, it's a stressful job to do because like people's lives are in your hands, or like their well-being is in your hands. So I think a lot of people working in those kinds of jobs kind of let their own well-being fall to the wayside a bit because they're focusing on other people more. Yeah. I think that's probably the biggest reason. That being said, I have also met like Rai said, I have also met a minority of like therapists and psychologists and psychiatrists and mental health nurses and people in general that work in mental health that they have a very weird kind of almost like anti healthcare outlook on things. I'm not sure how to describe it. Like, they refuse to go to therapy themselves, and oftentimes, unfortunately, these people are also like, you know, like refusing to get vaccines and stuff. Like, the two things from what I've seen seem to go like hand in hand. Like, a lot of the people who like will refuse to go to therapy themselves will also refuse to then go and get a vaccine to protect their patients. Yeah, so I think there's definitely like a subgroup of people working in mental health who fall into this, I think. Or like they're like really big into like complementary medicine and stuff, but like they use it not necessarily complementary. Yeah. Yeah. It's like the trend of nurses who are deep into the health rabbit holes. Exactly. I think it's exactly like that. I think it's that thing where it's like they have enough knowledge to convince themselves that they can process the information, but actually the misinformation hits their like blind spots, basically. So it's things that they actually don't know that much about, so they convince themselves that the misinformation is correct. They like reason themselves into the rabbit hole almost. Complementary medicine, yeah, that's things like you know, like acupuncture and reflexology and you know, the kind like what's the one where you just like give people water, homeopathy, things like that. Basically things that like don't necessarily have the best evidence basis, and by that I mean often they don't have an evidence basis at all. Yeah. Yeah, the bad woo woo, exactly. Yeah. They're like anti-establishment. A little bit, yeah, they can be sometimes. Also, hello Retty, thank you for the lab safety racer check-in. Sometimes they definitely can be. I have definitely met a fair number of anti-establishment like mental health practitioners. I think that part of that kind of comes from like some of them like they're like anti-establishment, but they don't have the kind of like complementary therapies / anti-vax / whatever twist on it. For those ones, they tend to be anti-establishment in a kind of like left-wing political context, if that makes sense. Like they're like mental health problems are caused by capitalism. I've actually met quite a lot of people like that. Yeah. But then there's like another group of them that like it's not a political thing. They just don't trust it entirely, which is kind of weird. Yeah. But then I also think that like the third thing that probably contributes to this is like almost the same thing as people believing misinformation. It's like they think that they know so much about mental health that it's almost like, well, it could never happen to me, right? So then if their mental health starts declining, they don't see the signs in themselves because they have like a lack of introspection because they are convinced that it won't happen to them type of situation. But yeah, I don't know. These are my thinkings. I don't know for certain. I don't have evidence for it, but this is what I would suspect based on the people that I've met while I worked in mental health and a little bit of evidence I've seen around like misinformation and stuff. Yeah. My grandmother had this saying that I love, that I think summarizes it pretty well. You always know when you're in a carpenter's house. What she meant by that was when you're in a profession, you tend to put all of your energy and best work into that, and at home it's just good enough. Or your projects that didn't cut it to be given to other people. I think that applies really well to almost every career and profession. I agree. Like, yeah, and I think that's almost exactly what happens with mental health practitioners. Like, a lot of times they kind of go into burnout and then their mental health starts declining because they're giving so much to other people. Like they're giving so much to other people that they're not looking after themselves very well. Yeah. So interesting tidbit from when I was a therapist on an interdisciplinary treatment team working with psychosis spectrum and serious mental illness. There was a bit of an us versus them attitude with some of the providers versus patients that they're treating, but only for some. Like they needed to be quote unquote normal in order to help people who they consider to be quote unquote abnormal or unwell. Meanwhile, I'm here like, no, we're really all like this. There is no normal. Yeah, this is another thing. I think this might be like a discipline kind of specific situation. I've seen this happening a lot more with like nurses and psychiatrists. I have also seen this too, though, where it's like they are the patients, we are the practitioners. Big gulf between the two. And it's like there can't be any overlap. I have also seen that. Yes. Yes, definitely. Let's see. Everyone knows that when you go to therapy, they take away your therapying license. The ironic thing is, though, is that if you're a therapist, like in a lot of jurisdictions, you're actually like mandated to go to therapy a certain number of times a week or a certain number of times a month. Sometimes it's like just what they call supervision, where you talk through cases. But sometimes it's also mandated in addition to your supervision for you to have your own therapy. So like I know that my therapist also has a therapist that they talk to about me sometimes. Like I know that. I'm fine with that. I'm cool with that. But yeah, like that's a requirement for in some jurisdictions and for some types of therapist. Yeah. Let's see. It's like the cardiologist that just diagnosed me and my sister on some things that was morbidly obese. He at least acknowledged it when I rose an eyebrow when he said that I needed to do more cardio. Not long ago, opposition to vaccines and psychiatry would be a left-wing thing. Stuff's weird. You know, I think it's one of those things where it's like both. I think that if you get to certain political beliefs, whether someone identifies as left-wing or right-wing, the core of what they believe is actually anti-establishment. So it doesn't really matter. And I've seen a lot of people that like, especially go into like anti-establishment conspiracy theories. I've seen a lot of them kind of like pivot from one side to the other. There's like a real like horseshoe theory type of thing going on. Yeah, there seems to be some evidence that like conspiracy theories and misinformation are more likely on the extremes of political beliefs, regardless of what the specifics of those beliefs are. And I think that might be that kind of thing going on. It's like an extreme political belief that's like underpinned by distrusting authority. That being said, obviously, like, you know, some degree of distrusting authority can be healthy. And skepticism is always good, I would say. But yeah, there comes a point where it can be quite problematic, especially if you're like, I don't want medical treatment, because it's like, yeah, this is an institution, this is an authority, but it's one that like is actually trying to help you. Yeah. As a clinical psychology student and when I was a therapist, I had always seen my own psychologist. I think it helped me make me better in my work too. Now I'm moving towards neuroscience degree and not becoming a licensed clinical psychologist, but that's been my background training, so always with me. Yeah. I remember I had therapy when I was working. Like I think I had like it wasn't super regular. It was like once a quarter, I think, but I had like a once a quarter check-in with a therapist / counselor. I can't remember what they were, if they were a counselor or a therapist. But I had weekly supervision meetings with my clinical psychologist manager, supervisor person. And then I had once a quarter, like kind of felt like a therapy session. I think it was a therapy session where we would like talk through, it wasn't necessarily like what was happening with the cases, but it was like how they affected me. Yeah, and I found that really helpful. So I think it's a thing that makes sense to do. Okay, so we got to chat about conspiracy belief, which I believe is your area, and paranoid complex belief systems one day. I suspect they're overlap. I would love to. Like, there is so much overlap and I would love to. Okay, we'll come back to the conspiracy theories later because there's about to be an ad play. And I have run out of my water. I need to go get some more council juice. So I will be back in a few minutes. Until then, enjoy your Pikmin. Yep, you're getting more Pikmin. I will see you in a few minutes. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate you. Okay, enjoy your Pikmin. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7, Pikmin 18 million and 11, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin, new centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound, Pikmin electrons covalent bond, Pikmin AI published IEEE, slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your culture. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7, Pikmin 18 million and 11, Pikmin 3 Deluxe and hey Pikmin, new centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane, that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sound, Pikmin electrons covalent bond, Pikmin AI published IEEE, slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your culture. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Pikmin 18 million and 11. Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Hey Pikmin. New centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sonde. Pikmin electrons covalent bond. Pikmin AI published IEEE. Slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Pikmin 18 million and 11. Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Hey Pikmin. New centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sonde. Pikmin electrons covalent bond. Pikmin AI published IEEE. Slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6, Pikmin 7. Pikmin 18 million and 11. Pikmin 3 Deluxe and Hey Pikmin. New centrifuge to put Pikmin in. Pikmin in your membrane that's called Pikmin blot. Old Pikmin theorem that scientists forgot. New mechanics, quantum Pikmin. Pikmin chest tube, Pikmin balloon mount, radio sonde. Pikmin electrons covalent bond. Pikmin AI published IEEE. Slowed down Pikmin due to relativity. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating all it touches. Pikmin in your culture where you can see it contaminating everything it touches. Pikmin in your fucking culture. Pikmin 1 and 2 and Pikmin 3. Pikmin you play control for the Wii. Pikmin 4 and 5, Pikmin 6. Hi, hello. Basina Dreamcry, thank you so much for the raid. What the heck? Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it. What good timing as well. Hello, welcome in. Hello, welcome in. Nekorikor, hello. Yeah, welcome in. I'm happy to be here for Pikmin Purgatory. Let's go. Yeah, get in the Skinner box, Raiders. Get in the Skinner box. Thank you so much for the raid. Hi. Welcome in. What were you up to today, Basina? What were you up to? And yes, hello. Welcome in, Raiders. My name is Psydere. I'm a research psychologist. I have a PhD in social psychology. And today we're doing a Q&A. You can ask me your psychology questions. Yes. A scientist. Yes, indeed. I am, in fact, I'm a scientist VTuber. And also an actual scientist. Yippee! Yeah. I yapped at length about bicycles. Let's go! I love bicycles. Actually, I say that. I don't actually ride. I can't really ride a bicycle, actually. Every time I try, I like fall off. I'm looking. I'm looking. Yeah. I want to buy a bike, but there's so many options. Right? They're so confusing. There's so many options. I would love to learn more about them and to learn how to ride one, but I feel like I would be terrible at it. By the way, everybody, can you hear can you hear weird background noise? Can you hear like a weird rhythmic pulsing background noise when I'm talking? I'm gonna turn the music off very quickly so that we can all assess this. Is there like a weird background noise while I'm talking? No? Okay, excellent. Just music. Very good. Well, the music's off now. So now I always forget there's like a little bit of a delay on my stream. Yeah, it's not that bad today, actually. It's only like 2 seconds. Not bad. Not bad. Even now, no. Excellent. Very, very good. Very good. This is excellent. Do you know what this means? This is like the most middle class thing ever. It means that I've just tested whether I can run my dishwasher at the same time as streaming. Because I may or may not have forgotten to do it last night. And now I do not have any plates. So I kind of need some plates. Yeah. Excellent. But yes, Basina, if you need to have a rest, you know, have a stretch your legs, get away from the PC, eat food, drink water, etc., please absolutely do. Very important to look after yourself otherwise, after you've been streaming. Otherwise, you know, you're always welcome to lurk around. I very much appreciate it. Thank you so much for the raid. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. What if we like the dishwasher cleaning noises? That would be an interesting ASMR, wouldn't it? It's like, come and listen to me whisper whilst we have dishwasher noises in the background. Yeah. By the way, that reminds me, I meant to ask, what do we think about ASMR as a content genre? Because I owe like 3 different ASMRs that were all like charity event things. I love ASMR. I listen every night. Well, I have good news for you, General Hellcat. I might be doing ASMR soon. I might be doing ASMR soon. I have a negative response to ASMR. Me too, Asias. I'm the same. I can't listen to it. I can't listen to it. It makes my skin crawl. It makes my skin crawl. So I won't be able to listen back to my own ASMR. I do have one ASMR stream that was recorded so far. We did one ASMR stream in the past, and I have never listened back to it. Like, I think that like you can do so many funny concepts with ASMR. Like there are some content creators out there that do some really, really good comedy ASMR, but I can't listen to it. I'm too autistic for ASMR. It's too much in my ears. This is a mood. This is a mood. Skin crawling literally is ASMR. That's the point. No, but like in a bad way, it makes me feel disgusting. It makes me feel disgusting and uncomfortable, and it hurts. It basically like hurts me. So yeah, I can't listen. Yeah. The relationship ones always make me think the girl had broken into a place and kidnapped me. Who are you and why are you here? Right? They're so weird. They scare me. But the comedy ones where it's like, I don't know, like it's just like a really, really ridiculous situation. Those ones, those are funny, but I can't listen to them. So I have to just like watch them silent on subtitles, basically. Yeah, like alien abduction ASMR, exactly. They're brilliant. They're brilliant. Also, Nicoracle, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome into the research participation pool. Thank you. And Ikatono, hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Hello. I listen to an ASMR person and redeem the groan tube anti-ASMR mostly. She's actually in the psychology sphere as well. I mostly like to talk shop with her and make her pally groan tube. A groan tube, you say? A groan tube, you say? That's funny that you should mention a groan tube, because I think that might have been really loud. I'm sorry. You might have also actually heard my dishwasher noises because I turned all my filters off. There's one where the dude's doing audio work where you hear the barbershop sound around you and the audio on the radio out of the room, traffic outside. It's witchcraft, how things are positioned around you. That's so cool. I love that. That was a noise. Sorry. We basically had the same gremlin giggle to the groan tube. I love it. I just keep whipping it out in meetings at work, and then my colleagues are like, not the groan tube again. Ha ha. Ha ha ha, tee hee. Right, I wanted to go back quickly and see what people were saying about conspiracy theories. Wait, give me 1 second. So Tayu, anti-establishment, my thinking was more that both political extremes are united in esoteric stuff because they both have this magical belief in a god or otherwise given way the world is supposed to be. But since the imagined establishment is always going to stand in opposition of that. Yeah. I think it's more like, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a magical belief. I would say it's like I guess it's kind of magical belief in a way. But yeah, like an ideological belief of like, the world is meant to be set up in this way. This is the just way to organize things. Be it that there should be a strong hierarchy or there should be no hierarchy whatsoever. Either way, it's a very strong belief in those things happening. And the current state is that like there is a hierarchy, but it's kind of a fluid hierarchy. And yeah, that's not appreciated. Yes, I agree. Interesting. Fun fact about conspiracy theories. It really doesn't help that so many of them turn out to be true these days, like factually and objectively proven true, or at the very least having supportive evidence come out. Like I work in InfoSec, and when I talk about it, I sound like a raving lunatic, but all true and happening constantly. As a sysadmin, I was seeing it in the logs almost every day. It depends on the conspiracy theory, right? So like the ones where it's like a small scale one, where it's like, where it's like a small-ish group of people, and they're like powerful, and they can get people to stop talking just on the basis of their influence and what they can do. Those ones do sometimes have a degree of truth, but to say like so many of them turn out to be true, I don't think that's a fair statement. So like, for example, like one of the most common conspiracy theories is like that like went around in recent years is that like the COVID vaccination, like there's some kind of conspiracy around it, mostly around like people saying it's population control. And like that one's definitely not true. And that's just purely on the basis of like how many people would have to be in on the conspiracy theory. It's like impossible for that to happen. So yeah, I would say like asterisk, like it like, oh, whoops. My apologies. I need to take my medicine. So I would say like, yeah, like it's sometimes, so yeah, I mean like, I'm thinking of like a big conspiracy that's in the news at the minute, basically, when I say like, there can be a relatively tight-knit network of people who know what's happening and have enough influence where if someone started talking out about it, they could discredit the whistleblowers, basically. That type of thing, plausible, definitely happens. I wouldn't say that so many of them turn out to be true, though, because, like, yeah, a lot of the conspiracy theories that people know about would, like, it just involve too many people and they can't possibly be kept under wraps in that way. Yeah. I don't know. That's my thinking. That's my thinking. Also, General Hellcat, thank you for the posture check. I promise I'm sat up straight. And Tynek, hello. Thank you so much for the lab safety ratio check-in and for the 10 stream streak. What the heck? Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. My favorite recent belief is in a just world we wouldn't have to work for a living. Interesting. Okay. My one beef with ASMR is that it finds it harder for me to find hairbrushing videos for showing as models for kids. That's real. I can see that. I can see that being a problem. There are definitely conspiracy theories. There are definitely conspiracies, but that doesn't mean every conspiracy theory has a grain of truth. Exactly. Some of them are wacky. Some of them are just like fundamentally, when you just take a step back and think about them, just don't actually make any logical sense. This politician and this one politician is conspiring to get bribes is plausible. The elites have tricked us and we are living in a computer on a mushroom. It's too big, too many gears, too complex. Exactly. Birds aren't real is my favorite. That is a pretty funny one. I do like birds not real. That's a pretty good one. Yeah. To be fair, a lot of that one was like literally around and known, like there were convictions, and then what wasn't known gets blown up beyond what is. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like how much of it is that like this is a conspiracy, this is a cover up, and how much of it is just like other things are happening and the media has to be selective about what they report on. And there is actually reporting on this if you go to the right places, but you're just not getting your media in the right places, you know? Like, it's difficult to tease it apart. Yeah. True, but small scale as in nation state level applies too. In InfoSec, there's been disinformation campaigns going on for years from every side, and also nation state hacking attacks like China going after tech companies to steal their IP. It's happened and caught more than once. All the e-files coming out these days. That is also true. Yes, yes, yes. This is also very true. I don't know if it's kind of interesting because when you get into like geopolitics, it starts to play into like how much of it is misinformation / disinformation and how much of it is like propaganda. I mean, they can be both. Like true information can be propaganda. Disinformation can also be propaganda. But yeah, it's like really difficult to start to tease apart like what is actually happening because so much of it is happening on a frontier that genuinely people don't have access to. So then like it's not a conspiracy by virtue of like people are actively hiding things, which is the definition of a conspiracy theory necessarily. It's more like people don't have access to it. And yes, the system is set up in a way that they don't have access to it, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of teasing apart to do and it becomes very difficult. But yes, fun fact, I have seen firsthand the China-based attacks that happen. I have seen it firsthand. I know for a fact that they do in fact happen to people in the West. And it's the way that it's done is very sneaky. It's often targeting hardware that was like made in China and has a vulnerability that they know about because they help install the firmware on it. And then it just doesn't get patched because often, you know, it's like a Chinese company. So it's not necessarily that the company aren't necessarily responsible for it, but it's more like they know that there is a security vulnerability that they purposely do not patch. Like they just turn a blind eye to it. That's not necessarily a conspiracy. If they're just turning a blind eye to it, it's not necessarily a conspiracy because they're not colluding explicitly, you know? Yeah. But then if it's like, you know, they are working with hackers to make sure that those vulnerabilities are there still, then that would be a conspiracy. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's interesting. It starts to play with the definition of conspiracy. Like, it's real, like, it gets into the... What's the word? It gets into the, like, specifics of how you define it, right? And a big part of conspiracy is like the intentionality. Is there an assigned intentionality that this is happening on purpose? Is it purposely being hidden from people? And I think a lot of things that are labeled conspiracies are actually just like people just don't find out about it by accident, or like it's just not shared because people don't think it's relevant type of situation. Or it's like there's no collusion happening explicitly. It's just kind of like different authorities just turning a blind eye to various things happening. I don't know. This is my thinking. Yeah. I'm just thinking out loud while I stall on taking my medicine. I need to take my medicine. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Big problem in InfoSec is attribution. Even when you find clear evidence of exactly what happened, you can almost never be 100% sure who is doing it. Often it's just a matter of who'd gained from it and some signature methods, or just like you said, who has control over the manufacturing process. Exactly, yeah. Do you know what, actually, this isn't a thing that I have anymore. So I can say this actually. So basically, I have like a very, like Husmod set us up with a very funky like networking setup, which I intend to eventually work out how it works. Because it's very, my understanding based on what he set up is like it's safe. Like my firewall is so strict that I can't play some games because it won't let me connect to the game server. So yeah. But before that, when we were just running like, you know, just like the kind of like standard ISP provided router, like they gave us the router, and then they and then we were like, okay, well, we'll use this as a modem and we'll get our own router. And the first one we got was one that was like very widely recommended. I think it was an Asus one. And for most of the time, I think we had it for a few years, and most of the time it was fine. But then eventually, at some point, suddenly our internet speed started like dropping really badly. So there was actually a period, I want to say maybe like 6 months into my streaming, where yeah, suddenly I like started dropping streams, or like my streams would be like really, really laggy. And that was because it turns out that this Asus router that we had it had like a firmware vulnerability on it where it was being put into like a botnet basically. So they weren't coming into our network, but they're like the router itself, like it wasn't accessing our internal network, but the router itself was being used to process information for this botnet. Which was like horrifying, and part of the reason why Husmob was then like, oh my god, okay, no, we need to like, yeah, we need to fix this. So now we have now I have like Western made stuff basically. But yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting and got me to learn more about these kinds of things. And I think now I've got better stuff. But I've got more knowledge. It taught me a lot. It was very interesting. Collusion is also necessary because last time I brought Carlin quote, you said something like, but there was deception of the public is still happening. Am I confused? Can you give a rigid definition of conspiracy theory again? So the collusion for a conspiracy theory to be a conspiracy theory, the collusion doesn't need to actually be happening, but it's that there is a perception of collusion. Yeah. Does that make sense? Like, it's not that, say for example, it's not that like government, I don't know, FBI is actually colluding with tech company, for example. It's not necessarily that that's actually happening. It's that like there is a perception of that happening. So people think that it's happening. That's why it's a theory, right? But yeah, that's the definition. Well, the definition obviously is more specific than that, but that's the segment of the definition that you're interested in. Yeah. I love having better internet habits, and then Google is like, yeah, you stole your own account. Did I Cyberpunk? Did I say hello to you yet? I can't remember. Hello if I didn't. I'm sorry. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety ready to check in. I hope you're good. That's very common. It doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. Routers are notorious for that because they're exposed to the internet and consumers never update them. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mine is auto-updated now. Take that. Take that, Chinese government. I'm not saying it was the Chinese government for public information. Chinese government, please don't ban me from your country. Maybe I will visit one day. I don't know. Maybe I will. I can't promise it. Not saying it was you. That was a joke, is what I'm saying. Please don't reduce my social credit score. Also, Jetlantis, thank you so much for the lab safety race to check in. Thank you, thank you. Welcome in. I hope you're good. He was arguing against it by saying that there's no need for a collusion when the interests align. To argue against necessity for conspiracy theories. So I guess he was right. I don't know. I feel like I need to read the whole thing. I don't remember. Don't ask me questions about reading when I haven't read the thing imminently. Like, I have forgotten. I can't pull papers out of the top of my head, or books even. Anything. I can't pull anything off the top of my head. I just yap, really. Yeah. I don't remember. I had a Chinese router provided by the ISP that would always crash a sustained HTTPS connection. I noticed it because I couldn't access a certain website because the images were triggering it when downloading. I had to replace it with the router I purchased to maintain myself. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what we did. We had like a combined modem router thing provided by the ISP, and then yeah, it was just not very, it was really slow, to be honest. That was the main reason. So then swapped to like a separate Asus router, and then we found out it was part of a Chinese botnet, and we were like, and then like Husmod went wild and set up an entire like thing that I don't know what's going on anymore. I've got like there's like a whole, I'm looking at a server rack right now, and I don't know what any of it does, so I'll learn eventually, maybe. Yeah. Also, thank you for the hydrate, General Hellcat. Thank you. I will hydrate. Yeah, I don't think it was the Chinese government. I did actually look into who it was, and it was like a group. It was a group in China. It was like a hacking group, so it was probably for DDoS attacks. I've been banned from Roblox for anti-China comments. The Chinese government, maybe. Life would be good if I was banned from Roblox. Like that's not a bad thing. I've never made a Roblox account, so I can't be banned from it currently, but you know, I feel like that's not a bad thing. Yeah. Psydere be like conspiracy theories, and also Psydere be like, I'm not pronouncing this website. You can see behind my back in chat. I don't question it. I just read things in certain ways. Don't question it. Yes. IT and tech stuff is literal sorcery. I'd love to get into it one day. Yeah, me too. Me too. Even nation-state level actors make use of these private services to cover their tracks. There's an entire underground industry, usually on tour, selling all kinds of services, from botnets to crypto lockers. Yeah, I have seen this. I have seen that certain governments go to private groups based within their country, or sometimes not even based within their country, so that there's plausible deniability. And I think that that is fascinating and very cool and interesting. Not cool, not good, but interesting. So yeah. IT and tech stuff is literal sorcery. I'd love to get out of it one day. Oh god. Hi Trustera. Hello, hello. Thank you for the live so ready to check in. I hope you're good. Oh, we can save you. We can save you. Okay, this is answered. Let's see. I have more questions. Let's look at more questions. There's a question from you, Pseudo Lab. Okay, let's do that one. There we go. Okay. Next question. What? Let me bring up my thing so I can actually read. What is a pet peeve that you have around how people write scientific articles? Good question. I think that the main thing for me, I'm actually going to, wait, let me just adjust the formatting of that slightly. There we go. Okay. Yes. There we go. Perfect. Okay. What is a pet peeve you have around how people write scientific articles? Why is there an ad break? I swear I literally just went for an ad. Has it been an hour already? I swear we literally just did Pikmin like 3 minutes ago. Hello? I'm so confused. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're having an ad question mark? Okay, well, I will wait patiently for that to finish, and then we will talk. Okay. Yeah, what? Yeah, the raid was 25 minutes ago. So that should not be running. Okay, well. I didn't see it come up. I didn't either. I don't know what's going on with this. Twitch might have changed your ad frequency on the quiet. It shouldn't have. It shouldn't have, because that's very rude. And also, I'm set up to have 3 minutes of ads per hour. So why it's doing 3 minutes per half an hour, I don't know. Oh well. I'll just wait. How's everybody doing? People that aren't stuck in an ad, how are you doing? Yeah, Twitch wants their money, yeah. Don't normally have ads on the half hour. No, I don't. No, it shouldn't happen. I don't, like, I didn't even get a warning that that was going to happen either. It just happened. So that's weird. Yeah, very strange. I guess we wait. What is everybody planning on having for their next meal? I am going to have pasta. Gonna have pasta for dinner. Debating what I'm doing for breakfast. I feel like, Okay, is this a controversial opinion? I feel like breakfast is the best meal, but I also am never hungry at breakfast, so I end up having breakfast at lunch. Yeah. Doing pretty good. I just ate some pizza. Nice. I ate a microwave tikka masala about 26 minutes ago. Oh, I'm jealous. Croffles. What are croffles? What's a croffle? Huh? Maybe pizza or I kind of. Okay, so I have two options basically. Here is my options for food. Either one, I could make pasta. I can do like a I have like a pesto type of thing that I do. So I do like, it's not pesto, but it's loosely based on the concept of pesto, which is that like I like defrost some frozen spinach and broccoli, like, you know, cook it in the microwave, I guess, just enough for it to be like squishy, and then I blitz it up with some like chickpeas, some olive oil, some like herbs, and then like a little bit of the pasta water, and it kind of makes it into like a pesto-ish consistency, except it's like not cheese, obviously, so it's healthy. You can put nutritional yeast in to make it cheesy. Yeah. This is what I am considering doing. But my other option is that I could get delivery, which I literally never do. But like, I had my hair cut the other day, and then my hairdresser was like, it's Friday, I'm gonna get Thai food. And then I was like, oh, I could do with some Thai food, actually. And then she was very specifically like, I'm gonna get a spice bag. And then I was like, oh, I could really do a spice bag. And I've been thinking about it ever since. But I also don't like getting delivery. It makes me nervous. And it's also very expensive. So yeah. Knew it. What's a spice bag? Let me introduce you to peak Irish culture. Okay, hang on. We're going on a slight diversion and then we'll answer the question. Okay, right. Let me find a photo. Okay. Okay. We got this. Okay. Where's the images? Where's the images tab? Why is the shopping tab in front of the images tab now? This is cursed. Okay. Okay. What looks like an actual spice bag? This. No, that's... Why is this all like people making recipes of fake spice bags? This is really upsetting, actually. There we go. That's an actual spice bag. That'll do. Okay. Save image. It has to look proper greasy and disgusting. Okay, save image, and then I'm going to this. I still got the Sonic personality test in my Okay, we're coming back to the question, I promise. But first we got to talk about this. This is a spice bag, okay? This is a spice bag. So this is like peak Irish cuisine. So basically, we're not capable of like having normal food. It always has to have potato on it. So this is something that you would get on like basically like some kind of Irish Asian takeout. So Chinese or Thai or something like that. It's chips in like a spicy seasoning. It's got some kind of like chili powder and other things in it. Traditionally in a spice bag, it would be like fried like peppers and onions and chilies, and then also like I guess like battered breaded chicken. Yeah, that's it. But the one that I would get would be like tofu instead of chicken. Obviously. But they are like disgusting and not healthy, but also like I have a strong craving for the spice bag. And also, yeah, you normally get like a dip with it. So you'd normally get like a kind of like, I don't even know how to describe the dip. It's a dip. Like it's like a curry dip, but it's not curry. It's like somewhere between like Japanese style curry and korma. That's the best way I can kind of describe it, I think. Like it's vaguely in that region. Yeah. Yeah, this is a spice bag. Also, hi Mylin. Hello. I think I'm vaguely upset, but also intrigued. I promise you they're good. They are actually unironically good. Like, this is my favorite Irish food. I love spice bag. They're so good. I thought it was like a sleazy Chinese takeout thrown in a bag with French fries, a bunch of spices on it and sauce. Yeah, basically, yeah. Why isn't it called a spice? Why is it called a spice bag? I can see a bag. Yeah, you put it in the bag. That's why it's called a spice bag. They put the chips in the bag. They put the fried vegetable in the bag. They put the popcorn chicken or whatever it is in the bag. They put the seasoning in the bag and they shake it all up. Yeah. Yes. I'm for sure doing a girl dinner tonight. I have too many chores. I'm just doing cheese and crackers and lunch meat. That's such a mood. That was me the other. My girl dinners are really weird. They're like strange. I'm not gonna lie. I was imagining a little sachet of just like dry spices, and I was like, that sounds unpleasant to consume on its own. No, it's the big part is the potato. Potato. Here's your bag of food. Take food in bag. Exactly. Anyway, I love spice bags, and I'm really strongly considering. There's like this chain of like Thai restaurants across Ireland that does vegan spice bags, and I am strongly considering getting one. But also I want to be healthy, and I could do my like nice vegetable pasta sauce instead. But also I kind of want the spice bag. I don't know. What should I do? Should I do the healthy option or the unhealthy option? I'm not sure. Here you go. I'll let you all vote on my dinner. I'll let you all vote on my dinner. You can decide what I have. See if I make a bad financial decision because of all of you. Potato is based though, it's true. I love potato. Do you want to be healthy or happy? It shouldn't be a choice between the two. I like healthy food normally, you know? You should make a healthy vegan spice bag. What would that look like? I guess I could go and get some... No, I can't because things are shut probably. I guess I could get potatoes and like air fry them instead of... or bake them instead of making deep fried chips. And then have like shallow fried vegetables. And I guess the tofu's not that bad. So, yeah. I feel like an air fried spice bag would not hit the same though. I don't know. Why is the pasta healthier? Aren't both just carbs and oil? Well, no, because the pasta sauce is like the pasta sauce that I make is like basically entirely spinach, broccoli, and beans. So it is healthy. Hi, Carmen Valentana. Hello. I pop back in for a minute and see fries. I'm excited to watch the VOD. I'm doing cultural education. This is still educational content. This is cultural education. Yes, it does. It contains beans. It does indeed. Oh, I love beans. Yes. Also, Ognes, hello. Thank you for the lab safety race to check in. I hope you're good. Okay, let me put the spice bag away. No more spice bag. I want the spice bag so much. I'm really feeling it, but I shouldn't probably, but also I could. The problem is that I've had takeout. Well, I haven't had takeout at all, actually. I haven't had takeout in months. I think the last time that I had a takeaway... No, months is not fair. If you consider like a single portion of chips to still be takeaway, like there's a place that's like, if I go for a walk, there's a place that I can go to on my walk and get a single portion of chips, you know? Like my local takeaway, I can get a single portion of chips while I'm walking around because it's conveniently located. I don't think that counts. And even that, like the most recent that was like, I don't know, like a month ago maybe, and I spent like €5. Like it was nothing. Local chippy, rah, exactly. And I think that if it's like €5, then it doesn't count. But if it, I don't know. Yeah. It isn't a choice. I found a guy on YouTube that's advocating for eating delicious and healthy food by just making sure you have the proper intake of protein, fiber, sugar, etc. Your brain runs on sugar and needs sugar. Just make sure you burn more calories than you take in to lose weight and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, you're all a bad influence. You all want me to get the spice back? Okay, I'll do it if you all want me to. I think I eat decently healthy in the grand scheme of things. I am dead on. Like, I think my BMI is like 20.5. I am like slap bang in the middle of healthy. I probably don't exercise enough, but I walk places. Like, I walk everywhere, so it's not like I'm never moving. I leave the house every day, mostly, unless I feel ill, like if I have a cold or something. So, yeah. But yes, please balance your macros and eat more fiber than in general. Most people do not eat enough fiber. Vegetables are good. Yes. And yes, calories in, calories out, etc. Yes. Yeah, plant slant. I love plant slant so much. I love plant slant so much. Cottage cheese, man. Yes. I gotta say, the best thing that's come from plant slant for me so far personally was yeah, I think I've already said this, but I'll say it again. It was like a recipe where it's like a way to use it's like protein powder cookies. So it's like a scoop of protein powder and then like peanut butter and then like a little bit of like binder. So I use oat milk normally to bind it a bit. And then if you're feeling adventurous, chocolate chip cookies. This is something that I have been using now to get through Hosmod's fuel supply that I need to eat within the next few months. Otherwise, it goes off and I feel bad binning it. So I'm very grateful for that recipe. I actually have some fuel peanut cookie bar dough thing in the fridge right now. And I will probably cook it for my dessert today. Yes. Yes. Gilgamesh, thank you so much for the lab safety register check-in. And Commander Caleb, thank you for the 7 stream streak. What the heck? Thank you so much. Might not be your wheelhouse, but what's the difference between fibers like cellulose and dietary fiber? Yeah, that's not my wheelhouse. I can't comment on that at all. I don't know. I don't know. Can't comment. Hi, Krabby Crook. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Hope you're doing good. How are you doing? All I can say is that I eat a lot of vegetables and beans because of my dietary choices. I have a large quantity of fiber in my diet compared to the average person. Yeah. What happens to Huel when it goes off? I don't know. I don't imagine anything particularly bad because it is a vegan recipe, but it does have probiotics in it, so I'm a bit nervous about it. So I'm not. It's not a use by date, it's a best before date. So I imagine the main thing is probably the flavor degrades. But I also don't trust the fact that it's a probiotic because that makes me nervous. So I am going to try and get through as much of it as I can. Yeah. I had vegetarian sushi last night. It was good and only 15 maple bucks per person after taxes and tips. Is that good? I don't know if that's good. Hi Husky, welcome in. Your diet sways on your mental health for real. Yes, this is true. There is a link between your gut and your mental health. I don't know the specifics of what it is, but generally if you eat a good balance of macros and, you know, don't go overboard on ultra processed food, then this is good for your body and your brain is part of your body. So, yeah. Oh, it's like 8 USD. Oh, that's really good. What the heck? Really good. Can you show us what beans on toasts look like? As an American, I'm thinking of like a can of Bush's on toast. It is so normally you'd use like Heinz beans, but baked beans, but UK baked beans, which are they're like in a tomato sauce. So I guess, how can I describe it? It's not ketchup tomato, It's like, I don't know how to describe this actually. You know what? I can show you. I can show you what the beans look like. Hang on a second. Okay. If I go like this, I will show you my beans. That sounds really weird. Here. There you go. This is the type of beans that we use. I will hold them for you. Here you go. Oh, yeah. This is the type of beans that we eat on toast. They're like in a tomato sauce, but it's not like a pasta or ketchup type of tomato sauce. It's like a kind of like sweet. It's kind of sweet, I guess, but not overly sweet. It's not like American sweet. It's like British sweet. Yeah. This is how a British person greets you when you enter their home. It's true. This is exactly how I would greet you. Oh! Okay, we're hiding the beans. Understandable. I understand. Okay, you don't want to see them. Okay, I get it. I get it. Okay, okay. You didn't want my beans. But my son is fine. We love my son. How can I get rid of? Let's see. How do I get rid of the beans, actually? I don't know how to get rid of the beans. That's awkward. The beans are forever, I suppose. How do I get rid of it? Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, okay, okay. I think I've got rid of it. No more beans. The beans are gone. Okay. But my son stays. Very good. Petition for a beans on toast variant of this emote. I mean, I could just change it. We could just change it so that it is beans on toast. I can just like change the texture on the emote. I can do this. It's not true. We offer tea. Shh. I like spreading misinformation about British culture. That's the only type of good misinformation, actually. Yes. Anyway, should we get back to this science question? So, science question submitted by Pseudolab. What is a pet peeve that you have around how people write scientific articles? I have many pet peeves around how people write scientific articles. Yes, a sperm whale. He's my son. Yes. One of them is jargon. Jargon when it's not defined in the paper, because basically the assumption is normally like you're coming from a similar background and therefore you are going to learn about you already know the things, so you're applying your knowledge already to the paper. However, I would argue that interdisciplinary research is becoming a lot more common, and citing in an interdisciplinary way is becoming a lot more common. So I am a big advocate for, like, if you're using jargon in your paper, define it. Define your jargon, because you don't know if somebody from a different field is going to come in and then misinterpret what you're saying. Also, because so many papers are open access now, I think you need to be writing for open access. And that includes, again, defining your jargon. You need to make it very, very clear that, like, if you say, for example, conspiracy theory, I'm not referring to, like, aliens, you know? I'm referring to the psychological definition of conspiracy theory. And that means that people then won't misinterpret if they stumble across it, since it's open access. So, yeah, that's, like, the main thing. I think also, like, structuring the writing in a way that's actually easy to understand. Like, I think if you just, like, spam out a bunch of theories and don't explain what they are, and you require people to go away and read another paper in order to understand your paper, then I think you've written a bad paper. I'm sorry. I just think you've done your introduction and discussion badly if you have to do that. So, like, citing, I think you should always provide, like, if you're using, for example, a theory to structure your research questions, I think you should always describe it to enough of an extent that it makes sense why it applies to your questions. Yeah. Again, also because, like, you know, going back and reading another paper to read your paper is obnoxious. But also, again, the fact that many papers are open access now, you need to make sure that people aren't misunderstanding things, especially if they don't have a research background. Yeah. These are my big pet peeves, I think. I think my third pet peeve is also like when it's just written to a bad degree of language. Like, I feel mean saying it, but like, please, 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 if you speak English as a second language, please get a native speaker to review your paper. Because like unless you're like basically bilingual, I've read many papers where it's like pretty much a direct translation from one language into another, and I actually don't understand what they're saying. Like they've used, for example, like a French grammar structure or a German grammar structure whilst they're writing in English, for example, and I can't understand what they're saying, and I have to like try and I spend a long time interpreting each sentence. So these are my suggestions. I think these are things that are easily fixed, but I do think it involves people needing to pay a bit more attention when they're writing, and also think about the audience and remember that audience isn't necessarily just your colleague who is in the same field as you and also has a PhD now. Yeah, that's my thinking. Yeah. I'm gonna read. No, I'm not. I'm gonna drink. There we go. That's the word. Unfortunately, I've been out of school for over 15 years now, and even back then, I wasn't reading that many. I'm just not equipped to understand most of them. LLMs are really good for this, at least in my experience, to just translate a science paper into wording I can understand. I would say be careful with that. My experience is that I've done a few tests of like, can I outsource reading certain sections of a paper to the LLM to summarize it for me to speed up the process? Because like I do have a research background, I normally skip to like methods and results. But sometimes I want to know like what's in the introduction, and I have found many cases where even ones that are advertised as being good at research, like what's the Google one, like Notebook LLM or something, even those often make pretty basic errors, because it's like, remember, it's like trained on an entire corpus. So if certain words are used in different ways in different fields, then it can misinterpret what's being said in the paper. So it's like, again, the same issue, ironically. Yeah. But like from the other direction. So I would say be careful. Yeah, varies. That's my experience. Yeah. I'm scanning. Wait, I'm catching up. Latin was the universal language in quotes, but only for privileged people. Yeah, it was once upon a time. Nowadays, English is like the scientific quote unquote universal language. It's the one that most papers are published in. Not all, but a lot. And it's kind of a shame, because I think that probably means that some papers would have been better in the native language. And I just wish, like, I wish that, if I could like I would make many structural changes to journals, but one of the things that I would personally do if I could like swoop in and overtake all of the academic publishers would be that I would organize translation of research into a couple of different like largely spoken languages. So for example, if like let someone submit a paper in Spanish, and then you get human translators, like, you know, double checked human translation ideally, to like then translate it into like English, French, etc. Arabic, you know, things like that. Yeah. Chinese. Yeah. That would be what I would do personally. But yeah. Hello Vanitas. Hello. It's because of how research funding works in many European countries. Often papers published in English are a requirement, while you get no points for native language publications, so people are forced to do it even if they have absolutely no business doing it otherwise. Really? I didn't know that. That's really interesting. And also kind of sad. I can understand it, because like I guess the impact case for it, I guess, like the business case, quote unquote, would be like if you publish it in English, then it might get picked up and cited by people in the US and Canada and also the UK. So I can understand why they do that, and actually Singapore as well, saying that. Singapore too. So I can understand why they do it, but I don't like it. And I wish that there was like, yeah, a way for people to be able to publish in a language that they have better control over, if that makes sense, and then translate things. But I think that would also require slowing down how many papers are published every year as well, which in itself is requires a whole systemic change, which is like, I don't know how you would even start to do that. Like, I don't know. In my Swedish uni, it's easier to find papers and materials in English than it is in Swedish. I mean, to be fair, every Swedish person I've ever met speaks better English than I do. So I can understand that. Like, there are some countries where like the level of like English fluency is just so good that it makes sense that you don't publish in your native language. So like, yeah, like Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Germany, what else? The Netherlands, they all immediately come to mind. Yeah. Maybe it's just not needed. But other countries where, you know, English is not as easy to learn, because I think the thing that all of those countries have in common is that they're kind of like Nordic or Germanic languages, right? So it's relatively easy to learn English in comparison to other, say for example, if you have like your native language is Chinese, then English is quite difficult to learn. Yeah. Also good education systems. I feel like it would be fairer for like maybe other like developing countries, like low and middle income countries, to have other options and then have the option to have it translated into English from their native language or from a language that they speak fluently. Yeah, I don't know. Would you let me publish a paper without a grammar check? No. Everybody should do a grammar check before they publish their paper. It's not just you, it's everybody. My field doesn't even have any vocabulary developed in Czech. I had to come up with it since I had to come up with something since my master's thesis had to have a Czech abstract. That's so fascinating. That's so fascinating. Can confirm I'm Scandinavian. Everything above bachelor's level education was 100% English. It was actually hard to talk about technical subjects in my native language for me. That's so funny. Husmod would have also verified this from his standpoint. His native language was Polish, and he said the same thing. Like, he found it hard to talk about technical things in Polish because even when he was speaking to other Polish speakers, they would just default to English when talking about that kind of thing because it's just easier. There's like more like the terminology is okay to Polishify, he said, but like if half of your sentence is going to be English anyway and you both speak decent English, then what is the point? That was what he told me. So yeah. We need to write 1 page in English as an abstract for the masters here, while the other 100 pages are in German, which probably no native English speaker will ever read. Yeah. So German, I can understand though, because German is also a fairly widely used academic language. Like, there is my understanding is that there's a pretty strong publication culture in German, especially in like certain fields. So I can see that being a thing. Some CS professors in my country insisted to use my native language in computer science, so it was really weird to read like native equivalents for common English terms. Most of the time the words felt really forced into place. That's so funny. I meant without passing it by a non-ESL person, but okay, Scamdere. Every person should have a grammar check. I was just specifying that if you're not a native speaker, I think it makes sense for you to have your spelling and grammar check done by a native speaker. Yeah. I teach a lot of international students from China, and many of them don't even know the Chinese vocabulary for science because no one in their life knows the vocabulary, so they use English. Makes sense. Makes sense. Writing the paper, it makes sense for reading material. I think if you know the origin language, it's better to read it in that language. I don't know though, because if I think reading and writing kind of reinforce each other, right? So if you're reading everything in your native language, but then you're writing in English, I feel like that would then impact the quality of the English you're writing. I think you would need both to be in one language. Yeah. I'm starting to encounter a lot of Japanese and Chinese papers in my field that aren't translated into English. Sometimes the abstract is, but that's it. I feel like I need to learn one or the other. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I always feel like I should learn another language, and then sometimes I'm like, I should learn one of the useful ones that's useful for my field. But then psychology is very heavily English forward, so I'm like, is there anything I need to learn? Like, surely I would just learn something for fun, I think, rather than, or like because it's useful in my personal life rather than it's useful for work. Yeah. There's this one computer science uni in Copenhagen where they're responsible for inventing new Danish words for IT stuff, and then they teach that to the students. It's got very confusing trying to talk tech with some of those students. That's so funny. That's so funny. My adoptive father was an engineer and fluent in German. He'd be speaking in German until he got to the technical terms for the engineering bit, and then both he and the Germans would drop into English for the technical bits. That's so funny. This seems to be a fairly common situation then. Fascinating. Where I work, all the face-to-face conversation is in the native language, but any formal communication or reporting is in English. Oh, interesting. Weird. I wonder why. Huh. And then he showed me and my older brother the German for the technical terms, and I found out why. Yeah, because they're like 72 pages long. I'm a fool to myself for not learning much Czech, considering I've been visiting there for nearly 20 years, but apparently it's a beast of a language to learn. So I'm thinking. So I have like A1 level in Polish, which is also a West Slavic language ? So I think they're in the same language grouping. So like I can understand bits of Czech because of my Polish. Not very much, but a little bit. And I would say my experience is that like learning the basics I actually found really, really easy for Polish. I don't know if this would translate into Czech. But for learning the basics, I found it really easy. And then it was like when you start to get more complicated and there's like gender and tense based conjugation that starts happening. That's when I started to struggle. But I think you could probably get to like a basic level pretty easily. Yeah. Yeah. Ah yes, Czech and Polish, the languages that saw perfectly fitting Cyrillic alphabet and went, I'm gonna do my own thing. Don't even. I feel this on a molecular level. The first time that I saw a Polish word and it was like 72 Z's in it, and I was like, huh? Yeah. Why did you Psydere me? Why did you do this to me? Fun fact, Apple spends more money to train Chinese national tech engineers and build their tech industry than the USA spent to rebuild Europe after World War II and the Marshall Plan, including adjusted to inflation. Many of those engineers were then poached by other Chinese companies and they left with their knowledge and even IP documentation, and then proceeded to continue their research further onto Chinese industry. Oopsie, tee-hee, my bad. Apple being like, whoopsie, my bad. Oh dear. Gendered languages suck. It'd be hell to learn another gendered language when I already know one and have to switch from one set of genders to another. Yeah. I have like So I have like basic level German and basic level Polish, and I struggle as a result sometimes. Sometimes actually knowing one helps with the other, but not great. Yeah. Yeah. No, please no more Psydere. I don't want to be Psydere. Please. Please. Okay, I'm gonna find another question. Let's find another question. Okay, this one answered. Let's see. I'm having a look. This I can't answer because that is about a game that I haven't played. Oh. Okay, this is interesting. Okay. This is an interesting question. This is from Anonymous. This is an anonymous question. Oh, too long. Okay. So this is from an anonymous question answer. So they've clarified that this is specifically in relation to something that you have a diagnosis for, and it's not just mental health, it's also neurodivergence. So actually I'm gonna adjust the wording of this question very slightly. Like this. Like that. That's it. I think that's a good way to phrase it. Okay. That's a hard one. Yeah, it is a hard one. It is a hard one. I need to have a little think about this actually. Also, hello, Yasathoth. Hello. Thank you for the lab safety register check-in. Thank you. I need to have a bit of a think. Wait. So my honest answer is I don't know. I think it's one of those things where it varies quite significantly depending on your situation and depending on the context of this happening. So, for example, the way to do it at work might be very different to with your friends. And then even amongst your friends, it might be different depending on, for example, like their attitudes that you know they have. Like how do they feel about mental health, for example. Yeah. So I guess that's the summary answer is it depends, which isn't a very helpful answer, is it? So yeah. Let me have a think. I can't give advice about the best way, but I can tell you what I do. So I'm honestly just open about it. I'm very lucky to be in like a professional situation where other people on my team are also openly neurodivergent. So I don't need to worry about disclosing at work. I was very open about it straight away and people were very kind about it. Wow, I know, right? I'm so lucky. In my personal life, I'm also very open about it. And I think that the degree that you are open about it, I think varies depending on quite a few things. I think it depends on whether your social group are generally quite supportive. So my friends are in general also neurodivergent. And they're also generally pretty well informed about mental health stuff. So I can just be honest. But if they're not, if you think that they might have a bit more stigma, then the way that you communicate it's going to be different. So like because my friends are overwhelmingly like neurodivergent, I will just message them and be like, I'm feeling very autistic today. Like it's never like it comes up very quickly, I think, a lot of the time, because often they will also already have disclosed to me that they are neurodivergent, or it will like come up in conversation because it's part of my research, for example. Yeah, depends. Yeah, I can't really give advice for coping when people are not very accommodating and welcoming, or you know, judgmental or whatever, because I don't really encounter it very much. Because I don't tend to, like, generally my approach to life is that if someone's going to be judgmental about me being autistic, then I don't really want to be their friend. So my social circle is very tailored towards that. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not very useful, is it? It's not very useful. This is just me being like, you need to assess the situation and see what kind of vibe you get. Yeah, I don't know. Hang on, let me reach out. Wait, I'm autistic and ADHD. When I interviewed for my current position, I was very open with the people interviewing me. I wanted them to know all of my details because I was looking for an accepting workplace. It went a lot better than I imagined, but my primary field is education right now, so it might not be great in other places. Yeah, this is why I'm saying it's very context dependent. Like, I know somewhere that's looking to hire a psychologist in general is probably, to some extent, at least aware of neurodiversity. And I also take the same approach. Like, I would rather be open about it in the interview and then have a stronger chance at genuinely having an accepting workplace rather than like mentioning it in the interview, like telling them in the interview, and it turns out, and then they're like weird towards me because of it. Like, if they're going to be like that, I don't want to work there anyway. That's my general approach to life. Again, not evidence-based. That's just how I do it. Yeah. I was quote unquote diagnosed by my team leader before I could even tell him, because he had a similar diagnosis and saw it in me. He asked if I ever thought of looking into ADHD. That was just a few months after being diagnosed, and in the call I was actually going to tell him. Amazing. When I started working where I am now, I could instantly tell that one of the managers was similar to me in some ways. Yeah, I think it was a kind of similar situation. Yeah. Yeah. It seems very culture specific. I can't really imagine anyone at work asking someone about their mental health. It's reserved for very close family and friends. And that's in Poland. I agree. Yes, as somebody who has ties to Polish culture, very much agree. This is why I'm saying it's very context dependent. Like, my Polish side of the family, I don't know if I would even tell them the specifics because I just don't think the understanding's there. Whereas, like I said, with my friends, I'd be very honest. And if I'm being real, like, the way that I communicate in general, like, that I don't feel great, but also I don't like telling the specifics unless it's to very specific people. So normally I just make a joke about it and then that starts a conversation. Like how I explained that how I was like in what I said in the Discord server about why the stream was going to be late. Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I'll try to get an autism assessment if I ever finish my math degree. I think it'll be really good resume padding for the tech bros. Oh, that's so funny. It's really difficult for me to be around people with intellectual and or cognitive impairments due to PTSD. Interesting. I'm not going to probe into that. But yeah, sometimes it can be difficult because of the way that people's like needs intersect in a bad way, if that makes sense. So like something that I've heard quite a lot happening is like ADHD people they have a urge to work on something now, and then they like want to call someone who like maybe like an autistic person. They need to call and talk about it right now, otherwise they'll like lose their motivation and possibly also forget about what they were going to talk about. And then the autistic person is like, but this wasn't in my schedule. I'm not ready for this. Yeah. Yeah. And like those kinds of like things where needs kind of like conflict, I guess, is quite common, I think. It's very dark and I don't want to kill the chat vibes. Oh, don't worry about killing vibes. I literally opened up the stream being like, I'm sad because my husband died, so... But I do, like, this is what I mean when I say I joke about things. Like, I'm very much like a dark humor type of person. So I apologize. If I say something that sounds bad in a very joking way, I'm being serious, but it's also a joke. Because that's just, I feel like this is just part of British culture, like, is joking your way through bad times. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay, let me have a look at more questions. Okay, I think any takes on mental health awareness? Oh, wait, this is also an interesting question. This is something actually, that's something that I have thoughts about, but I don't know how to phrase it. I'm gonna leave that one separate. I'm gonna mark that one separately because I think that's an interesting question, but I also want to think a bit about what I say before I say it, and my brain's a little bit scrambled. So we'll come back to that. Let's see, anything else? I'm gonna look for one more like kind of easy-ish question that doesn't require me to think too hard, because oh, that's okay, this is like a personal question, but it's a fun one. Okay. Yeah, because my brain is a bit fried before I even started the stream, and now I'm starting to feel mega fried, and I want to order a spice bag. Okay. Sorry to hear that. My condolences. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was to be fair, I've been streaming like 4 months. No, not 4 months. So yeah, it was about approximately 4 months ago, and I have been streaming regularly not ever since. I took a lot of time off after it happened. But yeah. Streaming is my happy place, basically. So this morning I woke up and I was like not in a good place about it, and then I went for a walk and started feeling a little bit better, and now I've come onto stream. Well, now I've come onto stream. I've been streaming for 3 hours. You know what I mean? When I come onto stream, it's like my happy place. It's the place where I always feel like it makes me feel better. Thank you for the head pats. It always makes me feel better. So yeah. It's like I have that's why I've got a strong routine going at the minute. I'm streaming Sunday, Monday, Tuesday because I know for a fact then I have a routine and I am definitely going to be streaming, and it makes me feel a bit better. Or maybe it distracts me. I don't know. Why not both? Yes. I think this is a cute question. It's not a science question, but it is a cute question nonetheless. Okay. So, welcome back, Woodsticks. Welcome back. Yeah, spice bag, exactly. Gonna get me a spice bag. Oh, I have a question that's pretty much completely off topic. I'm working on a video about neuro and the ending of anthropocentrism. I'd love to get some of your thoughts on it. Would you mind if I bothered you on Discord over that? Yes, but please tell me if there's a tell me, but go for it, but explicitly tell me if there's a deadline, because I am prioritizing my DMs in terms of what's got a deadline at the minute, because I have quite a few things going on in the background right now. Okay, I'll get to it when I can. Okay, so last question that I'm going to answer today. You can still submit questions, by the way, and I'll just get to them next time. But last question for today, not a science question, just a fun one. What was your favorite game as a child? My favorite game as a child was, I had a couple. I think, can I do it by platform? I think that's acceptable. So you know, there's like a meme of like, were you a Pokemon autism kid, or were you a Sonic the Hedgehog autism kid? And my answer is yes. So I had like 3 games that I played a disturbing quantity of, frankly. One of them was it was Generation 3 and 4 of Pokemon. So it was like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and then Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. I like my number of hours on those games, disturbing. I have not gone back to them in a very, very long time, and I would love to because they were genuinely like some of my favorite games. Another one was another one was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, the one with the Chow Garden. I was obsessed with that game. Again, like probably like 1,000 hours, just concerning how much I played it. Yeah. Genuinely worrying to some extent. And my third one would be Animal Crossing. Both the original GameCube one and the Nintendo DS Wild World one, both of them. Again, across the 2 games, I probably had like 1,000 hours. I was obsessed. Like I have 300, 400 hours on New Horizons as well. I haven't managed to go back to it since they've done the recent update, but yeah, I keep meaning to. I really want to. So those were like the big 3, I would say. Those were like, I know that Pokemon and Animal Crossing are like technically series rather than games, but you know what I mean, like, you know. But also honorable mentions to like the Pokemon Ranger games, and Pokemon Channel. I was also obsessed with those. Yeah. Vanna says, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome into the research participation pool. Yeah. These are the games that I was obsessed with as a child. Looking back, I think I had pretty good taste. I think they were objectively good games. So yeah. Welcome back, General Hellcat. Welcome. For only 1,000 hours in a game is bad, looks at Steam Library. Yeah, but the thing is that I wasn't really allowed to play too much video games. So that's something that you have to consider. Like my video game time was very heavily restricted. Yeah, I also loved the Spyro series. I'll add that in. I also loved the Spyro series. And like the first time that I ever streamed, I did a test stream and I played a bit of Spyro Reignited. And I was not a very engaging and fun streamer, but maybe one day we'll go back and play the whole thing for old time's sake, because I also haven't finished that. I also have not finished Spyro Reignited. That's another game that I did not play as a result of grad school. Hee. Yeah. When I was a kid, I was allowed an hour a day. I don't think I was even allowed that. I think I was allowed... I was like relaxed a bit when I was a teenager, but then I was into my Call of Duty days, and I wouldn't describe that as a favorite game. I would describe that as like a experience. Like I would describe it as like an act of like causing myself pain, you know? Yeah. But I think when I was a kid, I was allowed to play maybe like 3 hours a week, and it would be like all be on the weekend. Yeah. Yeah, I was allowed to game on the weekends only. Yeah, me too. But it was also for like a set period of time on the weekend. It was like Sunday morning, basically. Yeah. Yeah. 3 to 4K hours in Dota. That is wild. I couldn't do it. I think to be fair, like I think if I had been allowed to play more games when I was younger, I would have developed like the obsession with them, potentially, like the autistic obsession with them. However, I think the fact that it was controlled, I actually ended up spending more time doing like Pokemon fandom activities rather than actual playing Pokemon, because like I was allowed to like do art and write fan fiction as much as I wanted. My family encouraged me to do it, actually, because they were like, well, it's a creative thing to do and it's developing a skill, so just do it. Like, cool, go for it. So I was allowed to do those things unmitigated, but actually playing the games, I was limited on what I was allowed to do. So basically what I did instead, the way that I expressed my autistic special interest was that I got those, I don't know if like everyone remembers these, but they used to sell like game guides, like printed game guides. So I got one that was like the Pokedex. It was like the Generation 3 Pokedex, but it was like the national Pokedex, so it had the art for all of the Pokemon. And then I taught myself to draw by going through and like copying all of the Pokemon and like all of the trainers. And then I started like making art that was like the Pokemon and the trainers in different like in different situations and different poses and stuff. So unironically, that's how I learned to like draw. And then yeah, that was the main practice that I did. I did also like take art classes at school, obviously, and I ended up doing an A level in fine art and had to do like loads of oil painting and stuff, which I would love to get back into at some point. I miss doing oil painting and water painting and stuff, but I don't have a place to do them currently. Like I don't have a location on which to do them. So yeah. But I'm working out a way to make that a thing that I can do again, and then maybe I can start doing over-the-top oil paintings of VTubers, which I think would be really fun. So yeah, yes. I drew animals from Disney, and then FNAF came out, and that's when I went digital and did a ton. Oh, you had a similar pipeline to me then. Interesting. I remember reading one of these with my mate when we were playing Pokemon Silver. Yeah, and then you'd learn stuff about the games that other people didn't know, and then you'd be like, yeah, I've got this Pokemon. You don't know how to get one. Yes. I remember the old Minecraft books. This is a bit after my time. The Minecraft books are after my time. I'm older than that. I'm older than that. Okay, so here is my thinking. My thinking is this. I am tired. I'm feeling tired. I'm not gonna lie. I'm feeling tired. And I think it's been a day, you know, and I think I need to go and order myself a spice bag. I know where I want to send you today. I know where I'm sending you today. If that's okay. I hope that's okay. I do in fact know where I'm sending you, which is we're going to go and raid Horatius, the dwarf, who is currently collaborating with Tomato Master or Pomato Master, depending on your pronunciation preference, who are Horatius is a psychology person. He's like a mental health practitioner and also a dwarf VTuber. And then Pomato Master is a science VTuber. She does like sci-fi games mostly, like space games and stuff. But she also does science things. She does sciencey streams as well. So I think this is the perfect place to raid into because she has a master's in like plant genetics or something, I think, if I remember correctly. Question mark? I think. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. But I find her funny. Her streams are funny. Horatius is also funny. Both of them are interesting and cool. So this is the plan. This is the plan. Yes. So raid message 1. The top raid message is if you are a subscriber. The bottom raid message is if you are not a subscriber. Let's go and raid into Horatius and Pom. When I find them. There we go. There they are. Cool. Yeah. Thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for like adjusting to the changed timing and plan for the stream. I really, really appreciate your what's the word? Tolerance? Question mark? I guess tolerance maybe is the right word. Okay, I'm going to put that up there so that I don't get any raids. Yes. Next stream is going to be tomorrow. I have a plan. It's on my schedule, which will be released at some point tomorrow. But it's going to be at 7:30 p.m. UTC. That's 19.30, and we will be doing something. A game, possibly, of some description. I don't remember what I am planning to do. Yeah. I can't remember, but we're gonna do it tomorrow. So that time. And then also Tuesday. And then also I will probably stream at 2 p.m. on Sunday. I got nothing. My brain is a bit fried. I want some food. Okay. Yes. Enjoy Horatius and Pom. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for spending your time. Bye.